between us and them is we don't even know the baseline. We don't even know how to get started with that, because us as a Black community, we don't want that. We're just like, you know what? No, I have to have my own shit. I have to have my own car. I have to have my own iPhone.
Struggle. Struggle. We think there's struggle over being in one place. And what he said, we don't come together. We're focused on me when it needs to be us. And I believe that. But for any race, I don't believe it's all. I don't believe it's all Black people. I don't believe it's all Latino people. I don't believe it's all white people. I feel like some of us don't see the bigger picture, which costs us in the long run. And we have to keep going, Greg.
Yo, you sound, I don't know where you get your facts from. I just think you're airing these things out. But Asian people work hard for their money. They go to school. They work long hours. They study. Yo, you can't just say, oh, because they're Asian, they get it. Come on.
That's not what I mean. Discounting the fact that some of them do work long hours. I'm not discounting the fact that some of them do study and go to school and do all that. It's a foundational mindset that groups of people have where their families move as a unit. And that's what keeps the population grounded in let's make wealth, let's move forward. I have never heard of an Asian hating another Asian and not fucking with their family because I don't like the way that they cook, or I don't like the way that she wear her hair, or I don't like her skin color, and she doesn't get her nails done at the family business, so I'm not fucking with her. No, they put that petty shit to the side. I have never heard of anyone Middle Eastern saying, oh, I don't fuck with that side of the family, so we're not doing business together, period. Because their mindset is completely different. But what if Black people never had to deal with slavery? What if Black people never had to deal with racism? What would we have the space to think about as a unit and come together and do? We would never know, because that's not our history.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I don't want to take racism out of it, but I'm going to. So in terms of what Mr. Motivational said and what the guy just said in his voicemail, he's saying, oh, well, they have and they do this and they have. Let me just say, us as Black people, and I'm only going to say Black people because I don't want to speak for anybody else, because you see what happens when you speak for somebody else. When it comes to us, like when you have two people who have nothing and you tell them, hey, grow together, like, hey, take nothing and make something of it, it's hard. It's very fucking hard. And I don't think a lot of people understand. Like, they're saying, oh, well, you move you and 15 other people together and you put your salary with their salary and you do things and it's going to make money. And it's like,
that requires trust. Things that Black people are still struggling to build.
Yeah, but no, just take that out of that equation right there. You could have that, or you could have what white people have, which is generational wealth. They have the ability to say, you know what? I went to school and I have college debt, but you know what? I'm not working this fucking summer. I'm going to travel abroad. I'm going to go for 4 or 5 months. You know what? I just want to go and see, Japan. I want to go and fucking go to different countries. There are a lot of people who would love to do that. But you know what those people are doing? They're trying to do what Mr. Motivational said and have a house and have a car. Being able to live in the neighborhoods that Mr. Motivational decides that he wants to live in, that we should be living in because we deserve to live in them. But the thing is, we can't go do these things not because we can't live together and we can't cohabitate with our families. No, our families together can't go and make the money that would require that shit. Somebody's going to say, oh, well, why don't you get better jobs? Why don't you go to school, blah, 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 blah. Yes, go to school. Have all the debt in the world that you can't go and just cancel. Have all that shit if you want to, and then try to do the things that they said.
In America, period.
Yo, the shit is so...
school debt, but I'm still trying to get to a job to where I can do what I need to do, have something to put to the side, and enjoy a life with my children as a Black woman living in the United States. I'm still trying to get that. Now, then we can change the conversation and say, well, maybe you should have picked a different career path that made money. We can say all types of things, but the issue is there's always going to be another big ass ladder that Black women and Black men have to climb in order to get on a level ground of everybody else. And that's just what it is. We have 36 voice notes.
No. I gotta say that. I gotta say this. And I'm sorry. I have to say it. So what really pisses me off, it really grinds my fucking gears. Whenever black people say something and they mean this shit and there's no way of trying to sway us, like we have the voicemails like that guy that keeps saying, he went from saying, well, Latinos do this and Japanese people do this and Asians do this. I'm like, you keep going. And he's like, you know what? We answered your questions about Asians. We answered your questions about, Japanese people. We answered your question about white people. Answer my question about black people. Why can't we just Why can't we just say, you know what? I want an answer to my question. Every time I go and give him the answer, when we give him the answer he wants, he moves the fucking goalpost. This is what we've been dealing with white people, which is why we have this show right now. We are tired of saying, you know what? We have the answer for you. This is what we want, and this is what we want to do to get it. We say that, and it's like, well, we appreciate that, but what are you going to do with this? It's like, wait, what the fuck? Like, how? Like, imagine going on a job interview and they're telling you you're overqualified. That's how it feels to be black. Knowing that you did every fucking requirement to get the job that you wanted and to get the things that will make you and your family succeed. And then you have not only white people, but you have brown people as well saying, you know what? But what about us? How can we do that? No, motherfucker, I want this job. I did what I needed to do to get that. And you're trying to hinder us by saying, oh, well, what about? No, ain't no what about. What the fuck I want? What I want is what I'm going to get. Period. I'm sick of that shit, man. Like, so no offense to him, because I'm sure he's going to say, well, what happens to the people that were in the Avatar movie? Like, they're blue. Are you trying to say that their lives don't matter too? No, what? Like, you know what? Next voicemail. Jesus Christ.
That's right. Make your own opportunities. This man know what he's talking about. We have to, black people, anybody who's not white, make your own door. Make your own opportunities. Sell it to your own people. And let it not be shit like hip-hop. That shit's no good. Think about what they're rapping about. It's garbage. Stop selling that shit to our own people.
I agree.
Yo, I'm with you here, Greg. We got to make our own opportunities. And that's the thing. There's too many excuses with black people. Black people don't want to take responsibility for anything. Exactly. It's so much easier to blame everybody else. I mean, come on, man. I'm still hearing black people talking about the white man. It's the white man's fault I can't do this. It's the white man's fault I can't do that. Come on, man. Look at the statistics, man. Why none of our black males, not none of them, but a lot of them, the majority, it's safe to say that. Why they don't want to go to school, man? Why they don't want to go to school? You know what I'm saying? The white man ain't keeping them from going to school. Why all the young ladies, man, the ones that do go to school, the statistics are getting worse. They're not finishing. If you look at the statistics now and the statistics back in the 90s, we had more college graduates amongst our people. But now it's the exact opposite. We're actually declining, man. We were doing better as a people when we were under Jim Crow. Let that sink in for a minute. Think about that.
That's a fact.
It's the fact that they trained us to be on one level. And anytime we try to step and be another level, like become our greatest of greatest, then things start getting in the way. And sometimes we get in our own way because we know the history. And it stops us from being our great we need to be. We just have to push forward and not let that block us. Because sometimes we make that story up in our head and be like, hey, do I deserve this? Do I have to work hard? Do I have to be paranoid? Why I'm working? It's all the images and things that they don't put in our head that we end up stopping our own self from being great.
Yeah.
And we all great at everything.
Yeah. And I'm gonna just say this. I know I've interrupted a lot. A lot of us, to be fair, are fucking lazy. And I know this. There are a lot of us, black people, brown people as well, we are fucking lazy. We expect us to just tweet and write on Facebook and write Yelp reviews and expect shit to change. Shit won't change until you do. So until you stop complaining and causing an action, there won't be a reaction to it. So next voicemail.
Yo, they making these drugs legal now because of the spiritual implications, right? First and foremost, whoever don't know, we at the end, you know what I'm saying? Not the end of the world, but the end of the age, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? The end of the old system we were under. We're going into a new system, a new one world government structure where if everybody's not on the same accord, then you will be X'd out of the system, so to speak. You can't participate. So again, the drugs open people up for the spiritual realm and the lower frequency entities, aka demons, to now take hold. You know, and demons ain't what they show you in these movies, man. Demons got personalities just like me and you. They know how to cool out in a person, man. They lay dormant in most people, man. Most people you come in contact with, 9 times out of 10, if you got your spiritual glasses on, you can see the demon, man. Most of the time you conversing with the demon, man. I'm just saying, do your research before you.
I know he had another point. I know he had another voice.
Yeah, none of the food is real, man. None of the food ain't been real for like, man, probably since what are we in, 2020? The food ain't been real probably since like the 70s. And I you know, give or take a decade. That's how long it's been since the food's been real. Spoke about this last night, you know, on another stereo broadcast. Monsanto. If you don't know what Monsanto is, look that up, man. They the ones that took over the whole agricultural department. And they're the ones that are over our food administration. The FDA plays a part in all that too. You know, a lot of people don't understand these so-called government corporations or factions like the FDA or whatever, man, they're bought and paid for, man. They're bought and paid for, man. If you do the research, the whole society is structured against the citizens, man. Like, this is deep, man. You know what I'm saying? This is deep.
Definitely.
So I wanted to know.
Yo, bottom line is, man, leave the fast food franchises alone, man. All of that. Anything microwaved and is handed to you quick, man, that's not real. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that's in the grocery store is tainted up, but you got your odds of better eating that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Prepare your own meals, man. Stop eating the garbage, you know? Your body, man, that's your temple, man. You know, that's everything. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how many acres of land you own. I don't care about how well your business is doing. Guess what? If your body ain't right and if your mind ain't right, you don't have anything. You're broke. You have nothing. You know, do yourself a favor, man. Leave that garbage food alone. The chemicals in it are affecting your brain. That's what keeps you addicted to it, man. I know people that eat fast food 4 or 5 times a week, man. Like, that's crazy.
Wow.
I'm in love with this being true girl. She seemed to have her mind in the right place and accept that every human being, that human beings are different. Black people and white people are different.
Mm-hmm.
And she seems to accept that.
Oh, boy.
He's so right. And they're taking us back to racism, to be concentrated on that, because it does happen, but not as much as we think. Honestly. And I know it seems like every time we turn around, someone else is dead and this happens, that happens. It's true. But that is not how the majority of people feel. The majority of people love people of color, because the majority of people in the world are people of color. You know, so it's just sad. And they are trying to regress us back because it gives them more power in what they really want to do, which is control the masses of people and exploit human labor.
I need to ask this. When she says they, who is they? Because I hear they a lot, but no one actually tells me who are they. Is it the Men in Black? Is it the Avatar people? Is it Hulk Hogan and the rest of the Hulkamaniacs? Like, who is they? I need to know. More importantly, is it Kanye West and the Kardashian family? I need to know. It might just be them. Let us know who is they, because they is them and he is she and who is them. I just need to. I need to know. I need to know who is they, because we keep going around in circles about who they are, and I'm like, who are they? Like, is there like this private sector of like humans where they're like, hey, we're the they, and we don't fuck with y'all? Like, is Big Sean like their mascot or something? Like, I don't fuck with y'all. Like, you know what? Next voicemail. I ain't shit.
The news exploits every time something like that happens, with a white cop killing someone black or something like that. They exploit that because then we just confirm it, reaffirm it, because we get more of whatever we focus on. So we keep reaffirming that, oh yeah, see what they did to us, see what they're doing. And it just really isn't so. I know I probably sound delusional to you guys, but it just really isn't that. The majority of people on earth are people of color. We are not the most hated, but they want that to be the ideology so that more people feel reluctant, so that less people work together, so that more people are skeptical of one another and don't blend in and don't wake up and really pay attention to what's really going on, which is the poor distribution of the resources that the earth provides: water, electricity, food.
That is real. That is real. Absolutely.
Yo, the whole race conversation, man, that's like the biggest game that's been played against us thus far, because at the end of the day, the ones that are in control, and it's a handful, a couple of inbred families that control everything. They don't see us as color, man. They see us as useless eaters. They see us as cattle. That's why we all have social security numbers. That's who we are in the world. We're not our names. They don't see us as that. Look at your mail. When you look at your mail or any type of document, everything is written in all caps. That's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You go do the research on that. I'm not going to go on into that because that's going to be a whole nother stereo. But the race card, man, we got to get past that. That's just used to keep us divided amongst each other. If we came together, man, we'd be fearless.
For real.
In the history of time, the Moors and black-skinned folks, including the Arabs, the Hindus, all that, Indians, black, dark, brown skin, they were all regarded as prestigious, knowledgeable, worthy of knowledge and everything. This agenda that people hate these people, that people hate our people of color and all that, is just a narrative to keep people divided. And if we don't open our mind to understand that, then we'll continue running the wild circle rat race, staying on the same plane that brought us here.
Yeah.
If I study psychology, when I'm done, people will call me a psychologist. If I study anthropology, when I'm done, people will call me an anthropologist. If I'm all about anthropology. If I'm all about race and my race, then people are going to call me racist. It's only natural for people to veer towards more of who they are, what they are. The narrative creates this super fluid divide between people, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist, because there are tons of people out there who subscribe to that ideology that racism is one is superior and so this and that. There are people who subscribe to that, and they help keep that narrative going. I decided along the way that I'm not subscribing to that anymore. I'd rather subscribe to paying attention to the more love that is shown to my culture. And the reason why primarily is because we get more of whatever we focus on.
Facts.
That's exactly what I said. Whenever I was this kind of race divide, in my mind I was saying, okay, this could only end in two things. Either they're going to be quiet and hide, which is almost worse than them being out front, or they're going to be even more outspoken about the racism. And either way is not good.
Yeah.
If we all head in the direction of being true love, that's why that's the name of one of my businesses, beingtruelove.com. My YouTube is Being True Love and blah, blah, blah. And the point is because when you come from a space of love and just focus on being the best version of yourself, you don't have time for the latter, which is fear. The opposite of love is not hate, it's fear. So in and of the universe, there only exists love or fear. If you're not coming from a place of love, you're coming from a place of fear. The whole racial thing is a fear that this person is, or this group is going to have more than my group. This group is going to have more access to resources than my group. If we just focus on love and pay attention to that, that is how we will resolve these issues.
The thing that annoys me the most is when people I hate when white people say that it's not a problem as people try to make it seem as it is. And I don't like it when people say that it's the media who just picks and chooses when they want to throw it out there. because the shit is real. Like, there are really people out here who will fight with their freaking kids over who they date. And there are white bitches out here who fucking tattletale on hoes. And it's real, and it's out here, and it's been real in my life. And I didn't bring up that Black Lives Matter. Everybody else did. So obviously, I'm not alone.
Oh, 2 snaps.
I definitely had to deal with that aspect of racism. I'm biracial. And on my white side, there's definitely people that I've never met. And I don't really care that I've never met them, but it's just something that I have to, that I take note of. And I know that back in the day, there were definitely relatives that I know now who would be considered racist back then. And maybe me being born changed that. But that's also something that I'm just taking note of. I'm not holding it against them because I don't know. And I definitely know that I have at least one uncle who is racist. Definitely has called me the N-word before. And so I don't speak to him.
Now, first and foremost, you need to beat his ass, period.
Right.
Honestly,
I just want to be that person who says something to any possible racist that might be listening. Stop dehumanizing Black families, Black people. You use the culture, you wear the clothes, you listen to the music, all of that stuff. So stop dehumanizing Black people. Thank you.
Message!
Exactly.
Ain't nobody go backwards in time. It's still been here. Ain't nobody go backwards. These people are still alive, and they're trying to ingrain it into their kids, and some people are fighting back.
Exactly.
There was a time where everybody was just a laborer. When the earth was just nothing, someone one day just decided that they were going to be in control of all the earth's resources and that they were going to distribute them in a manner that they see fit. Prior to slavery and all of that, America became the mecca of, well, we don't have to be under the British crown anymore. We can go over here, and it doesn't matter if you're royal or not. What matters is if your skin is white or not. So they pushed that narrative because that was their element of survival. They were able to break their own chains of indigenous servitude by exploiting their race as the dominant culture. So then that is why a lot of people still hold on to that, and they probably don't even know why.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think the reason why that's happened is because we have not dealt with the historical traumas that are still with us to this day. Black people I understand, like, brown people had their problems for sure, but you're not taking into account of how long this systemic racism has been going on in America and how long we have not even taken the time to really examine what it is and how it actually impacts not just Black people, but also all people. And so that is why Black Lives Matter is such a big thing, because we're still being oppressed. We still have not come out of it on the other side. We have to talk about it. We have to deal with it because it's not been dealt with.
I got to touch on this. I got to touch on it. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you so much for that voicemail. I'm going to say this and we're going to go to the next voicemail. White people and brown people are like, hey, get over it. It's 2020. But we'll go and buy a ticket to go see Harriet and like Black slave trauma movies because they feel like they need to know. They need a history lesson. And I'm like, yo, like, no, like we're trying to tell you, like, we don't have to keep going and watching slave movies. That's why we may or we may not, but I know I don't go out and see like slave movies because I'd rather read the books. I'm sure Mr. Motivation will say the same thing. Like, I'd rather read the history of what's actually happened than go and have it depicted to me in a biopic that we already know is not going to be factually accurate. So shout out to her for leaving that voicemail, because there are a lot of people who will go and say, you know what, like, get over it. Like, slavery was so long ago. And it's like, wait a minute, like, slavery was so long ago, but we're still being treated like shit.
Yeah.
We're still and not only are if we get treated like shit and we keep letting people just get over on us and do what the fuck they're going to do with us, when y'all come over here from wherever you came from, they're going to do the exact same fucking thing to you. That is what they're trying to build walls for you. When I say walls, like, and it's not even walls they can't climb. They're giving you obstacles. So when you hear a black person say, you know what, like, we've dealt with this forever. Like, as long as we can remember, like, we've dealt with this. Our ancestors have dealt with this. And for you to say, you know what, y'all should just get over this because you know what, like, that happened 400 years ago. But guess what? Like, you have shit happening to you right now. And that is literally like a 2% margin of the shit that has happened to us. So to just say, erase your past, we can't erase our past because we don't even have a future right now. We're trying to actually etch that into the record books right now. So it just really disappoints me at that. Next voicemail, though.
And then just to add to that point, which is that, there's a lot of black people that are angry. You keep seeing the same type of trauma happen over and over and over again. Nobody's listening to you. You can't get ahead. It's just psychologically, black people we're not together. We're not all right. We're not all right. And this is what you're getting the anger and seeing and knowing, and people are actually doing their history, their work, and seeing how of a horrific experience black people have had. But because of white supremacy, we can only see the black spectrum of that. We don't see that it's happening in the world. It's happening in China right now with the Muslims in China. It's happening in Nigeria where the Nigerians are being brutalized. But because we have white supremacy and we haven't dealt with it, that is why it's so focused on black and white, because we've never dealt with it.
In referencing your tweet, yes, that would be true, but that's exclusive to America because all over the world, there's caste systems and all kind of other systems where, once again, back to the have and the have-nots. That's where it really boils down to. And it's like these group of people, Brahmins versus this group, light-skinned Indians versus this group, light-skinned Hispanics versus this group. What are they called? Not what are they called, but Irish against this group. And so when it comes to America, yes, it's specifically white because that was their liberation. In the Declaration of Independence, it says we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. They said that because they were trying to distinguish themselves from the British crown. And to do that, they said that all men were created equal, defiled black folks and said they were only 3/4 of the human, and pushed forward their ideology that white skin was superior. So in America, yes, the narrative became that white is right because everyone was under all these different crowns. When the Spaniards were the ones heading everything, everyone else except the Moors, they didn't have control over the Moors until like 1563, something like that. 1549, maybe 1607, I think is when they pushed the Moors out of Spain. But other than that, that's why ultimately what I push is a resource-based economy. That's what it is called. It's a resource-based economy because, see, what the real issue is the resources. Somebody's afraid that they might have to do labor. Now we've reached a point of technology where we don't have to do anything. We don't have to farm. We don't have to do anything. We have high technology to build anything that we want. If you guys can, I encourage you to watch this film called Future by Design. It's on YouTube for free. It's by Jacques Fresco. And it's about the Venus Project is what it's called. It's because it's talking about a resource-based economy. Capitalism is the evil that unlives us all. And that's what it all boils down to. They're concerned about the resources. And so when they divided this all and came to America and determined that their skin color would be dominant, that was a win for them.
Isn't resource-based economy just like a fancy way of saying communism?
Kinda, yes.
Okay, that's next voicemail.
Well, brother, I hear what you're saying, Greg, but when those people say that they just don't want them in the community, they're not talking about brown and black people. They're actually talking about niggas. There's a difference. Because I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't want niggas in my community. Niggas are the ones that tear up everything. Niggas are the ones that throw trash where they live at. Niggas are the ones that piss where they live at. Do you know at one point in time the projects were brand new buildings? Who destroyed those buildings, man? It sure wasn't the white man. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm certified to speak on this because I didn't live. I grew up around them. So I know what it is, man. And I'm not speaking in a sense where I think I'm better than anybody, but I know what I have seen. And it's time to just be real about it. Black people never want to really talk about that. You have brown people, you have black people, and then you have niggas. And that's just the distinction. They're two different groups of people. And I'm tired of being grouped in all together because we're not all the same.
Yeah. My dad, if you heard him speak that N-word, the way that left his mouth, you would thought he was a white man that owned a plantation, that had land, but he was a Jamaican man, an immigrant that came to America with $100 in his pocket, and he bought property, he bought a business, he bought a house, and he figured out what it is that he needs to do to focus to make a stance in a country that he wasn't brought up in. My dad was born in 1923, a time where he dealt with all types of different ways of America. And there is a difference between people who recognize their environment, have pride in their community, know why they should have pride in their community. And I think that's why you have the difference of what you would title this Black person. I think that's why you have the difference, because a lot of them aren't taught this is why you should respect where you eat and sleep. This is why you should respect the people who raised you. This is why you should respect yourself. I think a lot of them weren't taught that. And then that's why we have the differentiation of there's 3 different types of Black people.
So let me get this straight, because you don't want to, because you as a black man or person of color don't want to live around other people of color who don't have any respect for their surroundings, who don't care anything about their neighborhoods, who sell drugs in their neighborhoods, who are disrespectful to their neighbors, who have shootouts in their neighborhoods, because you don't want to live around that. That makes you racist? Are you serious? Man, come on, man. See, this is the problem with black people, man. This is the problem. That right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you white and you do that. I don't want to live around nobody that lives that way, that operates on an animalistic level, that everything gets them angry. They always want to fight. There's a bunch of arguing and fussing, cussing, drinking and drugging all night. I don't want to live around nobody that do that, man. I don't care what color you are. And that's period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, when he says that, is he mentioning the fact that they live in that area, or they're just coming to that area? Like, say, for example, there is a mall in your little district or something like that.
Lennox Mall.
Yeah, they're like, hey, by the way, there's a mall, and this is like, it's almost like, hey, this is access for us because we live in this neighborhood. We don't want y'all here. Because remember, I told you earlier in the show about Tyson's Corner. Tyson's Corner was, or it is, the biggest mall in our area. And there was never a metro system to get out there. The only way you can get out there is either you had a car, or you had to, at that point, you had to get a taxi. You never had Ubers like, 7, 8 years ago? Like, that wasn't a thing then. So you had to either get in a cab to go, or you had to have a family member or a friend or something drive you to Tyson's Corner. And the reason why they did that is because white people said, you know what? Like, this is for us. We have cars. Black people don't have cars. They use public transportation. So once they got the metro to go out there, the reason why they got it out there is because the white people who lived in DC proper, they said, you know what? We need access to the biggest fucking mall because they have all the stores. Like, the malls that you left us here, yeah, they have a Nike, not a Nike store, but they have a Foot Locker. They have a fucking Claire's. They have a food court. But they don't have, like, readily identifiable, like, stores. They don't have a fucking Old Navy. Like, the stores that you want us to shop at, we can't shop at them because we can't get to them. We can't, attain to them. So the fact that we're having this conversation is more so of a fact of, when you have a neighborhood, or, you have a part of town that you can't reach through the metro or something like that, is it because you just don't want people there? Or is it because you just want to feel exclusive? And there's 2 differences. You can say, you know what? Like, I just don't want them niggas there. Honestly, I absolutely agree with what he said there. I don't want niggas in my neighborhood either. But I'm not going to say, you know what? I'm going to completely say, we don't want to do anything. We just want to be our little bubble. We don't want the white dollars to come in. We don't want the brown dollars to come in. We don't want the black dollars to come in, all because we want to keep the niggas out. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to just completely say, you know what? We don't want to generate revenue in our neighborhood because we are afraid of what the niggas might do. And that right there is the difference in saying, you know what, I just don't want to be around them. And when they say them, they only isolate it to the niggas. And obviously when we say niggas, they know they mean black people. But how do you tell the difference between a nigga and a black person that honestly doesn't live in your neighborhood?
Only black people can tell you the difference. You can't be outside of the race of being black in America and say what the difference is with black people if you are not that, because it's always going to come off in a disgusting, streamlined, you're just racist way, when really it could be you're knowledgeable of, or it could be you're not. But it's like, you can't say, it's kind of like, I go outside with my child, can't nobody discipline my child in front of me but me or her father. It's the same thing. Let me tell you about who my child is. Let me correct my child.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, I'm gonna just say this, and I'm gonna just be done. We can go to the next voicemail. He said that there are black people, there are brown people, and there are niggas. I know for a fact I am a black person. However, when I walk into Foot Locker and I see my fellow black man see me, they don't know if I'm a nigga or a black person. All they see is black. And they do the walking you around. They walk you around the store and shit. Hey, big dog. I'm like, dog, I'm not 6 feet. I'm not taller than you. Don't call me big dog. Like, you're trying to be familiar with me and you're not familiar. So don't go and like follow me around the mall because you think, oh, I'm going to steal some fucking how I'm going to steal one shoe off the rack. Now, it does happen. What I'm saying, though, is yes, there are differences between black people, brown people, and niggas. But for us as black people to say, and say it proudly, like, okay, we're cool with this. We can say it we can say it to ourselves, to our peers. Trust me, I've been in situations where I've seen someone shoplift and I've had white people look at me and I have that look like, hey, like Shaggy, it wasn't me. Wasn't me. I ain't one of them. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and completely say, you know what? I don't know that person and I'm going to judge them beforehand because, you know what? I just don't want them in my neighborhood. I don't even want them in my part of town because, you know what? Even though they're brown or they're black, you know what? They might be niggas. Because just imagine if I thought of every brown person to say, oh, you must be a fucking mechanic. Like, how disrespectful is that? He could have had a fucking PhD. He could be my dentist. Yeah. But I'm saying, hey, do you know how to fix cars? That's the difference in trying to like take your neighborhood and make it better and being someone who's just like, you know what, I'm just going to prejudge them. I don't want to be prejudged. And I'm sure a lot of people don't want to be prejudged. There are some people, we don't prejudge them. We just go off their actions. But you can't say, you know what, we're going to put our neighborhood in a bubble because you know what? We don't want black people who could possibly be niggas around us. That's the difference.
And I hear y'all talking about you can't consolidate something you don't have, as far as saying that black people don't have no money. But that's crazy to me. When we spent $1.2 trillion consuming last year. So how we ain't got no money, man? When every time I see brothers and sisters, they got $180 Jordans on. How we ain't got no money, man? Everybody riding around in Chargers in Atlanta, man. How we ain't got no money, man? Are you serious? Stop it. 1.2 trillion consuming. Everybody riding around in Chargers in Miami. Everybody riding around in Hellcats in damn Texas. Are you serious? We ain't got no money? Man, come on, man. 1.2 trillion consuming, and we ain't got no money. Are you serious? Nah. Come with something better than that, man. Nah, that ain't gonna work. Nah.
Again, I'm gonna make it real brief. He's seeing the people who are doing it for show. He's not seeing the people who are investing their money and putting their money into their communities and things like that. Like, I could easily say, you know what? That white girl got a fat ass. Not every white woman has a fat ass. Like, and I'm only equating it to that because it's like surface level shit. Like when you say, oh, well, all black people riding around in Chargers or they have Hellcats. Yeah, you might see one or two Hellcats. Sure. You might see somebody in a Charger. That just might be their preference. White people have preferences. Trust me. I would love to have a fucking Tesla, but I was going to say 1 out of 5. At least 3 out of 5 of white people that I know that I work with have not even Teslas. They have the most broke down fucking cars you can ever think of, but they got money though. But the 2 people that are white that have Teslas, they let you know they have a fucking Tesla. And just to flip that, 2 or 3 out of 5 black people, yes, they might have a Charger. Is it a stereotype? Absolutely. But we're not going to put stereotypes on black people, like we're the only people to do it. When white people have their own stereotypes. Yes, they don't season shit. Yes, they put raisins in macaroni and cheese. Why? I don't have a fucking clue. Yes, they eat KFC. There's so much fucking sodium in that, whatever. But at the end of the day, like everybody has a stereotype, but it really fucks me up when it's like our people who just say, you know what, like our stereotypes shouldn't be stereotypes. But I'm like, wait a minute, like, so we can't have stereotypes. We can't have opinions. We can't have thoughts. We can't have dreams. We can't have expectations. Like, so what the fuck can we have? And for us to tell us we can't do something, it's like, are you with us or you with them? Like,
no soup for you.
This is my thing with our people. I feel like just because someone is making money don't mean that you can't make money. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like this person may be really good at selling lashes, and just because they selling lashes don't mean I can't sell my lashes if that's what I really want to do. So I have a clothing line. I just started. I can't look at everybody else. I have to do what I do. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes down to teamwork, don't hate on my shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when you put your shit up, I'm gonna start to support you.
Exactly.
That's right, and I'm with the caller who spoke on the Asian people. He's right. They work hard. The Indian people work hard. The Africans work hard. The Haitians work hard. The Jamaicans work hard. Ain't there a joke that says like a Jamaican person has like 6 jobs? That's where that joke came from, because they work hard. It's us. We the ones, man, always crying and whining, looking for a handout. I am sick of it, man. It is damn embarrassing, man. All of the other nations do their thing, man. It is embarrassing, man. I'm sick of it. Straight up. Bottom line is, we gonna have to pull together and work hard and be willing to make sacrifices, man. Stop spending all our money trying to get fresh and buying damn cars. You understand what I'm saying? Save the money up. Flip it. You know what I'm saying? And understand and know this. Everybody can't come along, man. Certain people gonna have to be left behind because they will never get their mind right.
So I went to school in Omaha, Nebraska for like 4 years, from like middle school to high school. And so I basically lost my Texas accent, and I had like a mixed accent, you know what I'm saying? I grew up around like Mexican, Hispanic people and shit like that. And so I have a Texas accent mixed with, anyway, I got back to Texas. All my own family members was like, I'm not black no more because I don't have an accent. I'm not black no more because I don't speak Ebonics.
Yeah, speaking for somebody else, one time I spoke to somebody else and he was like, shut up!
She gets it, like you just said. In order for us to be successful and to have anything, it requires trust. And you said it, I agree with you. Yeah. That's hard for black people to even fathom. So again, with that being said, by your own admission, what are we to do with that? What are we to do with that? That's a foundational level thing, man. If we can't even get on that level, what are we really going to do? You know what I'm saying? What are we going to do?
Yeah. I feel it's like you said, there's going to be some people that can't think with you, some people that can't grind with you, and some people that's not going to come with you. And I think we have to meet people, see people for who they are. The ones that can grind it out, like Greg and I, we have never met. But Greg has a crazy work ethic and I have a crazy work ethic. And we found each other podcasting and we come together and we do these shows and we get this shit done. And we go ahead and we monetize and we create money for our family so we could do the other things that we want to do. You have to find the people that are willing to come together for the greater value of where y'all trying to go. And that's what it's going to take, no matter what culture you are. But that's where it starts. I wish I knew what you said.
Okay, so another thing that I realized about the Hispanic community is they know that trading is still important. I'm not just talking about like forex trading. I'm talking about trades like being a welder, being a mechanic, being a nail tech. You know what I'm saying? That shit takes 6-8 months, and you're in the field. A senior can do it in high school. A junior can do it in high school. We don't have to go through 4 years of college. That's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what Mr. Motivational was saying as well earlier. This is like maybe like 20, 30 minutes ago, when he was mentioning the fact that like we choose not to pick careers, and more importantly, we choose not to do things because not because they're hard. It's just more so we just don't want to do them because we don't feel like we have to do them. Other people want to, so let the brown people do it. Let the white people do it. Why do I have to do it? Like they don't want to be garbage men and shit like that. Like at least we don't want to be like, but they will take it. They'll go and take that job because they'll do it knowing that, hey, we're going to get $30, $40 an hour to do it. Us, we're like, oh no, I got this degree though. And I'm going to just go ahead and just rock with this forever. And I'm going to get my expectations in about 10 years. I don't want to be like that. I'm just not cut of that cloth. That's why I do what I do. I hustle how I hustle. And I'm still hoping that Holly Berry gives me a call back. Next voicemail.
Hey, Greg, shut your black...
Oh my God, Mr. Motivational. Yes. I am so sick and tired of the victim mentality. That's like me saying, okay, a small person, a dwarf, they choose to be a victim all the fucking time. They're going to live like a victim. But there are small people that blow the other people out the body. I mean, it's the same concept, the same principle. If you're missing a leg and you allow that to hinder you, it's going to hinder you. White people are not our problem. We are our problem.
Yeah. That's why you got to stay off Black Twitter.
Let me drop some knowledge. I'm sorry, because I keep going. Let's think about this. Somebody spent $10K on a Rolex just to show off for his friends. When you can take that same $10K and buy an Amazon building and be your own boss. These are the things that we need to know. You want to go take a trip to Barcelona, to Paris? It's $500 if you leave from New York. That's how much you spent on that bullshit ass pair of Jordans. Yay! We need to have priorities straight as well. Like, come on, it's not about all how you look. Start investing.
Yeah. In agreement. Black
What you saying?
I was going to say, like, I absolutely agree with her. Us Black people, we don't live for experiences. That's why, like, when I hear people say, I've never been on a cruise ship, I've never, like, traveled outside of, like, my town. I'm like, damn, like, you've never actually, you have all the Jordans, you have all the watches, you have all the phone, you have all these things, but you've never done it. You haven't had an experience. So I would just pose to anybody who's listening to just ask someone that is of color, Black or brown, and say, yo, like, what experiences have you had? Like, that is definitely a question that a lot of people can't answer. They have all the, like, the things in the world, all the things that they could possibly want, but they haven't had an experience. Like, have you been somewhere where the sand literally, like, it's not hot when you walk on it. It's not rocks and sand. It's just fucking sand. Have you ever been to a place where you could see where it's seen the fish? It, like, that, honestly, that's like surface level. I had a friend, and this is like a short story time. So we had taken one of our, like, family friends out of town, and it was either Aruba or somewhere we went. So we went there, and they actually saw the fish for the first time. And they were like, I've been to the beach before, but I've never seen the actual fish. And I was like, wait, you just thought that there was like a median and fish just didn't swim up to like the sand? They didn't swim up there? He was like, oh no, man. Like, he was like, you'll understand. He was like, it's different in the hood when we go to the beach, man. We go to the beach and we barbecue stuff like that. But he was like, I only put my feet in the water. He was like, I actually want to get in. I was like, yo, like, I never knew until he said that moment. So then he looked down and he saw the fish. He was actually afraid to put his feet in the water because he was like, the fish are gonna bite me. The fish are gonna bite me. I was like, bro, if you put your feet in the water, the fish are actually going to swim away from you because you're foreign to them. This is them. The earth is 80% them. They don't care about you. So he put his feet in the water. He was like, yo, I've never seen water so clear. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yo, in the hood, like, we don't even get in the water. We can put our feet in, but that's as far as we go. And I was like, yo, maybe I've been privileged enough and blessed enough to actually be able to see the finer things, or to me, what could be considered the finest things. And to hear somebody that was Black as well just say, you know what? Yo, I can't even put my feet in the water because I'm scared that the fish might touch my feet. Wildest thing I've ever heard in my life. Next voicemail, though.
Can y'all, like, shut the fuck?
Exactly. Mr. Motivational said you can see the demons. Okay. In the Bible, it says we wrestle not against flesh, but against things not seen. Something like that. So therefore, the outside don't fucking matter. That white man is still, or that Hispanic man, whoever you want to talk about, is battling a spirit world that we all will soon have to battle. And then what? So if an alien come down here, we're gonna be like, oh, black and white. Oh, as a human race, we're gonna come together.
Well, speaking of the food, with such a coincidence, Monsanto, which is the mother and father of genetically modified organism production and all the hindering laws that try to govern seeds and malign farmers. The head of Monsanto is who Barack Obama appointed as the head of the Food and Drug Administration when he came in office.
I couldn't really hear her, but
Me
hopefully
either.
she leaves another voicemail.
I think that they are the one percenters. You can call them Bilderberg Group, Illuminati, the Jews, the behind the scenes, the people that basically the Federal Reserve, the money makers.
Here I was thinking it was the people who worked at Chipotle.
They is the Kardashian family. It is anyone who is preying on the success and lifestyle of Black Americans. That's it. Whoever that is to you, whether that's Candace Owens, Kim Kardashian, Donald Trump, Oprah Winfrey, whoever fits that narrative for you, that is they, at least to me.
Shout out to you.
Hey, Greg. Hey, man, they is, you talking about this is the Avatar people and the rest of Maniacs. Nah, they is the powers that shouldn't be, man. Yeah, you can call them Men in Black, you know what I'm saying? They behind the scenes, pulling all the strings, calling the shots, you know what I'm saying? They use the figureheads, i.e. the presidents and all of that. Those are the puppets. Those are the ones that they put in place to make us believe that, we have a choice and they're the ones that's running things. No. This is a shadow government, man. Look into the Black Pope. Look up the Committee of 300. Check out the Tavistock Institute of Human Resources. Look into the Jesuit order. I mean, I can go on and on and on with the information, man. But yeah, those are the they. The Bilderberg Group. It's a handful, man. That call all the shots, man.
Mr.
Now,
Motivation.
question before you get to the next voicemail.
I love the fact that he's so knowledgeable, and him talking is like you being able to open multiple books, and that is why you'll be better off having knowledge of and not waiting for people to feed you what they want you to know, because he has so much information that he is a source himself. But go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah, I just wanted to ask about Mr. Motivational. There's a movie that I watched, I want to say it's maybe like a couple months ago. It was a movie where they predicted every move you made, and they had like this book, and they wore hats. So you wear a hat and you can go through all these like portal doors and stuff like that, and it can take you to a different part, of towns and states and countries and stuff like that. But they had an outline of everybody's life. If you can explain like how that ties into it, like that right there, that movie, I feel like everybody needs to watch, because what he just said, now it makes sense because that movie actually exists. I'm gonna look it up too, but let's get to the next voicemail.
Bro,
Hey, if all the high school prospects went to HBCUs, if these NFL players, NBA players took their money and starting their own organizations, like what would sports look like without the flavor? I mean, what would the U.S. look like in the Olympics? Trash. Like, we have to understand how much power we have, bro. Like, just the athletes by themselves can topple over this shit.
For sure. That's why I ain't watching no fucking football. Fuck them.
Yo, really got to give a shout out to, I think her name is Being True or something True. Yo, Shorty, I like the way you talk, man. Yo, you put it together real well. I like your perspective on things. Also, I had checked out your YouTube channel. I'm going to subscribe too, yo. I like your content, Keep doing your thing, Shorty. One.
Look at this collabing.
So I gotta say, Mr. Motivational is speaking true gems that I couldn't even comprehend. Just to give you a little bit of a background, I'm what they would consider a whitewashed brother because I'm from a small country town in fucking Sierra Vista, Arizona. These informations aren't prevalent about our people, or the people of color. I'm an African American man. About the history on what they claim the government has us in golden chains. It's just being that woke and being that outspoken about it is truly on a different level. I really wish, I'm really glad you guys have this talk right now.
Thank you.
Being true, you hit it on the head again. Appreciate you, shorty. Yo, she's right. You either operating in love or you either operating in fear. Those are only two realms that exist. You know what I'm saying? By default, you're doing one or the other. You can't do both. Right now, the vibration in the world is fear. And that's what's being pushed by the media. You know what I'm saying? The media is a mass manipulation tool. It's sorcery at its core. What it has done was cast a spell on people to give people to voluntarily give away all their human basic sovereign rights. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about this, y'all. We pay for water, man. We pay to go fishing. Man, you got to ask the state for permission to marry somebody that you love, man. Think about that, man. Like, real talk. You got to pay for health care, man. Come on. Why your nation can't just make sure you healthy, man? Come on.
Thanks.
He's sitting there talking that shit.
A lot of the issues that have been talked about and that we're seeing in today's society stem from economic disparity between the races, which disproportionately affects African Americans and people of color. So I think that should really be one of the first issues to be addressed in order to help fix a broken system that we live in today.
Agree.
My guy. All right, listen. I understand you may not want to see the movie, but you talk about wanting to get somewhere. Ain't nobody getting nowhere if we're going to complain about what movies we watching. All right?
Yeah, I heard somebody bring up Black Lives Matter. Nah. Leave that movement alone, okay? First and foremost, they've been exposed as being witches. So then the muscle behind that is a dude named George Soros. Looking at him, listeners, if you don't know who that is, Black Lives Matter is a trick to just get us riled up as usual to distract us, man. That movement is not for us. Where's Black Lives Matter when Taekwon then popped off JoJo in the hood? You understand what I'm saying? Or Ray then popped off Man in the hood. Where's Black Lives Matter at, man? Since Black Lives really matter. Why they not up in Chicago, man? Since Black Lives really matter. Like, come on, man. Yo, black people, stop following everything just because they throw black on it, man. Damn, yo. Like, stop it. That's why they got Kamala Harris. He did that just for y'all vote, man. Stop it.
I have a question for Greg. I was just reading it. I'm sorry, you may not have heard my last message. I wanted to know if Greg is currently dating a person or married to someone outside of his race. You don't have to answer that. I was just curious asking because of the title of the feed.
I'm over here.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, no. I'm open to it. Yes, I'm in an interracial marriage. Doesn't change my views. Period.
The problem is that not enough of us are paying attention to our history. We're not looking at colonialism. It needs to be studied because we are still a product of colonialism. And colonialism is adjacent, if not perhaps the same thing as white supremacy. The Chinese know this. The Asians know this. Unfortunately, they're mimicking that exact same system, and they're doing the same thing to the Muslims in that country. Just powerful people are always going to take advantage of people if you let them. And so if you don't align yourself with people who are like you, who have the same struggles as you, and you allow people to tell you that, well, you deserve to be listened to as well, too. Yes, you should, but you should also listen to the sadness that's in your community and recognize that it's happening in other poor communities that happen to be black, white, all kinds of people that are poor. It's about poverty, too. And we have to connect those dots.
True.
Yo, I get it. You know what I mean? I understand that black people are upset about what's been happening to our people, you know what I'm saying, in this country. But, you know, I'm going to say it like I've been screaming it from the beginning of all of this, man. You cannot expect anybody else to value your life and respect you or us as a people when we don't value each other's lives and respect each other as people. And that is just the truth. That is the hardcore truth. Every night, we're murdering each other. Again, look at Chicago, man. Chicago is a war zone, man. The rapper just got popped off, a week ago in Atlanta? Now another one, he got popped off yesterday? I think he was from Texas or something. I don't know where he was from. But look at what's going on amongst our people. Come on, until we fix that and jump on that, I don't want to hear nothing about Black Lives Matter. Stop it.
Quick history lesson. This is how much we don't know about our history. That KKK costume that they wear was originated by Black Spaniards. A positive thing, a positive ritual. This is how much we don't know about our history. There's so many missing chapters. There's so many missing fucking books. Negro. What is fucking Negro? It's a Spanish word.
Yes, it is.
That was used to group together everyone, because if you go and look, if any black person or any mixed person or whatever, you go back and you go look in your history, there's like 4 or 5 different names. There's Negro, there's colored, there's Black Indians, all that shit. And they started mixing us all together, and that's why we don't have no fucking identity.
No, not at all. A resource-based economy is not at all anything like communism, and I'll say more later.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting.
Let's dig into that. Why is it that the conditions in those projects, and for those people, as you call them, dare you say it, I won't, because that's a white supremacist word, and I'm not going to use that language to further beat another black person, because we shouldn't do that. It's not helpful to us. And we have to start looking deeper at how it is that we behave and how we've been assimilated into this nasty culture of selfishness and greed and lust and covetous and all these horrible things that allow for white supremacy to have thrived for so long. And when I say white supremacy, I'm not talking about all white people. I'm talking about the infrastructure that has built colonialism that says one is superior, one color is superior over the other. And not everybody benefits from that. And that's the kind of illusion of it, is that white people actually suffer from white supremacy too, because they're ignored by the elites within white supremacy. And then the black people, who gives a fuck about us?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. Black people ain't got no excuses, man. Everybody should know who Madam C.J. Walker is, man. If you don't know who Madam C.J. Walker is, and you're a person of color, you need to go to the highest point in your house and jump. That's what you need to do. But she lived next door to Rockefeller. This was unheard of back in her time. She was alive during slavery. This was unheard of. So you mean to tell me today we got excuses? Nah, man. Nah. No, I'm not going for it. No.
That makes us ignorant. It makes us that we're ignoring why this thing is even happening. To basically say that a person that is living in the ghetto is inherently inferior because they all might just be nasty and throwing things on the ground and trashing the place. Well, guess what? Corporations bring in a whole lot of money. And while you know that black people have the highest rate of asthma, that's black people. That's trash. That's dirty. That's polluting our air and our water and our food. That's problematic. We have to look at the big picture too. And if we continue to focus on the divisions that they keep promoting about us in our own communities and keep re-perpetuating those racial stereotypes that the nigga is the one that's messing everything up for us. No, it's the greedy that's messing up everything for us. And it's why we're all in the same boat, working class people struggling.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is we're only looking at what's happening in our communities, and there's poor behavior in every community. In the white community, they have the most incest, the most rapes, the most fraud. The only crime that they have that is at least close to ours is murder. Like that's happening almost at the same rate, at least to the last study I saw back in 2017. I haven't seen the most recent ones, but it's been consistently known that more drugs are being done in white communities than black communities. So we have to look at the big picture too, is that this idea of there being this nigger complex, we're just basically putting ourselves in this box, and we're not looking at the fact that there are behaviors and there are problems that transcend beyond one community's color. It's about money too. And it's about also who has the power, who wants the power. White supremacy is a very strong institutional structure that has been with us for way too long.
We are learning tonight.
Shout out to
the 20s of our messages. This is wild.
I'm not a fan of it at all. No, I will not support the idea that there's niggas and there's black folks and all of that. I'm not a fan of it at all. That's why I'm not interested in this cultural and racial divide. Every single race of culture has a population of persons who are lower vibration and some are higher vibration. I refuse to place a blame and a label on impoverished black folks, because that's primarily what you're talking about, is impoverished black folks who are suffering and oppressed, impoverished white folks who are suffering and oppressed, impoverished Native Americans, Indians, Hispanics, what have you, every culture, Samoans, Asians, those population of persons who are oppressed live and act differently.
If she ain't talking the gospel right now.
I don't think it have anything to do with the fact that we don't have an income, because I think we do, like you said, have a great income. I think it has a lot to do with just people wanting to protect their neighborhood because that's where they live. And that's at the end of the day. You don't see, it's not many black people talking about wanting to be involved in a Chinese neighborhood. We don't be like, hey, let us down here, China, man. So why we care about what white people have? What we need to work on is what we need to have for ourselves, so that we don't have to always be mad that the white man have something that they worked for themselves for the years,
Exactly. I'm gonna say this. I absolutely agree with Sonia when it comes to that. Absolutely agree. The issue for me, though, is the fact that we have things. We have those communities. We sell those communities to said white people or to others. And that same community, like DC right now, it's so gentrified that the places that it wasn't safe for black people to walk, white people not only walk their dogs, they sit on balconies. They go and they have all the things in those neighborhoods that were not deemed safe for black people to be in. And the reason why is because it was our own communities. We told each other, you know what, like, hey, it ain't safe for you to come to this hood because you're from that hood, or you can't, be a part of that neighborhood because, it's not safe for you to be there. White people like, hey, here's $300,000. You can leave and we can just make this available for everybody. That right there is the difference in what we could have been versus what we were then. So
well, that's the thing then. How many of those people who are being successful, who are seeing that this is an obstacle in our communities, that people are mismanaging their money, why are there not more leaders to help people learn how to manage their money? Well, I will say that there's a lot of conversations that are going on right now about money management for black communities. So that is turning around, but we also have to look at context. We have to look at historical patterns and trends where it has been consistently reinforced in our community, not how to actually have access to money. And this has been because of the destruction of, this has happened plenty of times. And people can say, well, we need to get past it. You can't use that anymore. But what is past is prologue. And we are dealing with that. And we have to be able to look at why that happened, how is it still happening, and get people who feel like they have the answers, like what you're saying, how you, Mr. Motivational, get in the line and help some people understand how to manage money.
Now, come on, stop it. Ain't nobody putting no raisins in their macaroni and cheese. You need to stop. A raisin in a... I can't. That makes... Wait, no. If that is true, then I got to do a whole nother research and come with a whole nother ideology. Folks is around here putting raisins in their macaroni and cheese.
Okay. Now we're gonna get these voicemails, but I'm gonna get my shit off for a second. Y'all have never had a potluck at work and someone has brought like macaroni and cheese with like cilantro on it or raisins in it or some shit. You're trying to tell me I'm the only black person on planet Earth when they look at like dishes that people bring to potlucks and they're like, that's not supposed to happen. Like there's like what do you call it? Like guacamole is guacamole. Some shit does not belong in guacamole. Like you don't put the actual like the little thing that's in the avocado in your guacamole. Like white people, no bullshit. No bullshit. I'm not lying. I'm not trying to sound like a racist or somebody who's just being derogatory to white people. But white people will go, and you can see this on Instagram. You can go and look at like food recipes or some shit like that. They will take something that is so simple and add some shit that had no business being in it. For example, they will have mashed potatoes. And like I said, they will put fucking raisins in it. They will have macaroni and cheese and put raisins in it. They will actually take mashed potatoes and put rice in the mashed potatoes as if the two are not starches. The shit is weird to me. I have seen at my job, like the potlucks, I have seen chicken stuffed rice. I've never thought I would say that in my life before.
What?
Like it would like what they did was they had taken like Costco chicken, like the little chicken breast, and what they did was they chopped it up. Well, not chopped it up, but they cut it into like little wraps, and then they put rice inside of it. And I was like, look, okay, I don't know what culture you're appropriating, but I have never had sushi in the form of chicken with the rice on the inside of it ever in life. So just to let you guys know, and I'm sure somebody's going to say, hey, I've definitely had macaroni and cheese with raisins in it. That is disgusting.
I actually about like when other cultures make chicken salad and they put cranberries in there or raisins. I don't mind it.
No. Oh no, trust me. Not only have I heard of like, you know, the macaroni and cheese with the raisins, have you ever heard of no, this one's gonna fuck you up because I actually had to look it up and it actually is a thing. Have you ever heard of blue cheesed chicken wings?
No.
Okay, so what they do is, when I say they, I'm talking about white people. What they do is they take the chicken, they fry the chicken like black people normally would. They would fry the chicken, but then they would take a turkey baster and infuse the blue cheese in the chicken wing. So the blue cheese is already in the chicken wing when you take a bite.
That's nasty.
It sounds good.
You remember the year when they was using meat with mac and cheese?
Yeah. Meat and mac and cheese, like shrimp mac and cheese, I'm sure it sounds good. It probably tastes good. Crab mac and cheese probably sounds good. Probably is good. I've had lobster mac and cheese. That's really delicious. But raisin mac and cheese, just nothing about raisin mac and cheese. You know what? We got too many voicemails. Honestly, by the time we get to this mac and cheese, we'll be on a completely different discussion.
Truth be told, man, honestly, it's about perception. You know, they tell us there's more black people in prison than in college, but that's actually a fact. I mean, that's not a fact.
And another thing is another thing. And if you don't figure out that other thing, you better understand this one thing. Is that thing that you need to understand is just a thing.
Oh, boy. He's talking about me because I'm always saying there's another thing. But there's not another thing. I promise.
Truth be told, what I was trying to say was it's about perception. You know what I'm saying? It's how you view things. It's how you view the world. You know, they tell us that, you know, there's more black men in prison than in college. That's a lie. There's more black men in college than in prison. Granted, you know that prison system and the whole justice system is all fucked up. We all know that. But truth be told, it's about perception. It's how you look at the world. It's how you look at yourself.
Yeah.
And another thing, I'm joking.
So how do we get out of this cycle? Like, how do we break it? You know, there's people who can say their piece and word of mouth, but then there's some people in our Black community that are not going to listen. And someone believes that, just because they're saying it, someone's going to be small-minded and not do it. So I'm just trying to figure out what really can we do if someone feels like we don't have enough power, we don't have enough knowledge? like resources and stuff. What is how can we break the cycle? How can we spread the word and get people to stand up with each other and be really united?
We buy Kanye albums because nobody listens to that bullshit.
Yo, shout out to the sister Lorraine Nova for dropping straight wisdom and facts. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you do. That's how you build. That's how it starts. Gotta share the wisdom and spread the knowledge. Take notes on what the sister just dropped, and I'm gonna follow you, shorty. I appreciate you.
You know, there's also been a level of selfishness that has gone on in our communities. You know, if we're talking about that we want Black people to be better and that the Black mentality of victimhood and all that stuff, that the victimhood does happen because you only become a victim when you do nothing, right? There are Black people who are talking about white supremacy and racism, systemic racism, all these different things, the historical context of it and how it's still a burden within our communities. But they're talking about it and they're also trying to do something to move the conversation, to also move the country and the culture to be able to say, we need to have a little bit more integration where we can. And then also where Black people say, you know, I want to build my community. I just want to be a community of Black businesses. That's okay, too. Because like the Asians have it, the Indians have it, all kinds of communities, European communities that come here too, French, they get together and they build up their communities. We could do the same thing, too, and integrate. And
Hey, I don't know if the last message went through, but I was just saying that I'm really big into experiences. As a Black American, I've been everywhere from just all over the country. That's why I became a truck driver, because I just wanted to see, you know, everything. So, yeah. Been in theme parks all over the country. I'm really big onto roller coasters. I'm a roller coaster enthusiast. So my thing is I go to theme parks all over the country and Canada and hopefully Europe and Asia as well pretty soon. So, yeah, I'm one of those adventurous Blacks. I like to go everywhere and travel and shit. So, yeah.
Good shit. In reference to, like, traveling and why people don't really travel, I don't know of how much of the people think this way, but I know that there's definitely some people who have the mentality of, well, I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need anything else. Like, is this not good enough? Because there's definitely some people who's like, why would I need to go to, you know, Brazil, or why would I need to go to Japan, or why would I need to go to Europe? Like, what is there that I can't have or do here? And or some people just honestly they're just afraid to get on a plane, which is not that's a whole other different thing. But it's like, what is there that I cannot do or have here? Which is kind of true, but it's the point. Most people travel is for different cultures, and so that's also something they don't feel the need to find out about other cultures.
Put it this way, I just watched a family in Jamaica in the islands right now with this storm watch fucking big ass water come from down the street into their fucking house, and they had their clothes, they had their shoes, they had their dogs, they had their bed, they had their TV, and they trying to like pull whatever they could pull and stack it up on each other. They had like their iron door that's open but is gated, just flooding in with water, and they have nowhere to go. And to sit here in America, maybe it's not so great, but at least I know if water came down my street right now in this cul-de-sac that I get to live in, and this house that's elevated and I have a hill in my driveway, I know I'm not getting flooded out because I'm not near no water. I'm not surrounded by a huge body of water. And you have people worried about, well, damn, I know they're having a storm now, but I'm checking the weather for the next couple of weeks when I go visit for my vacation. You need to see the way that other people live to be grateful for what the fuck you have. You need to experience other places. You need to travel. You need to read, because that's going to kill the ignorance that people have and they live by being in stagnant environments. And that's what that is. It's people who live in the same environment that they were born in, that they grew up in, stay around the same people. They don't know shit, but they always got the most shit to say.
Hey, bro, to be honest, I do not support the LGBT, so do not even get into politics like that. Because I really don't want to hear it, honestly.
Oh, God.
Mind you, he's Indian.
To anybody who says that they, quote unquote, is the Jews, does not understand anything about society and culture and history. The fact that you could possibly blame the Jews for any sort of racial disparity that exists in America really just shows that you are uneducated and just overall not understanding of what the arguments here is and the discussions are.
Yeah. Shout out to E-Rich. Like,
let me just say that we should broaden our education about Monsanto. Actually, there's a documentary on Hulu about GMOs, and you actually get an understanding as to where it came from. Like, food does get diseases. They do create, there are scientists, like there's a science to even farming, right? Spicing fruits and creating all they're doing is taking the genes of the fruit and they're spicing it to be able to make it a fruit that can actually fight against certain diseases so that crops don't die. So it's not a chemical. It's just they're messing with genes of fruits in order to make it a stronger fruit, to make it last longer, to feed people longer. There's weird shit in everything, but there's some context to that. And I was actually on the bandwagon of like how bad GMOs were. But after watching that documentary, I have an understanding as to how science plays a role in everything.
Back in the days, me and Frederick Douglass actually collabed together and we free.
What I had said in the video that you couldn't hear, I said that Monsanto, who is the mother and father of genetically modified organisms, and who has created these seeds that you just can't plant anywhere, and who creates Roundup, and who was like harassing all the farmers and all of that stuff. Monsanto, they're responsible for that. They are the fake food that we were speaking of. What I was saying is that when Barack Obama came into office, he appointed the head of Monsanto as the head of the Food and Drug Administration. I was completely dumbfounded. I was confused. And I knew then that whatever I was thinking up until that time just wasn't it.
The conspiracy theories, I just have to say, it's not, I don't think it's as complicated. That's really, to me, it's a distraction. It's a really good distraction, actually. It's because it's not allowing us to actually focus on understanding the roots of the burdens within our community, where it's coming from, what policies, because that's where the burden is. I'm not just saying like the white man just beating us down, but what policies were actually passed that oppressed any kind of progress that could be made or interrupted progress within some communities, whether it's, let's talk about Black communities first and foremost, because that's where we're seeing a lot of the struggle to grow out of the nonsense that we are dealing with now with the materialism and all that stuff, and the church too. So church doesn't help us either, but we can't get lost in the conspiracy theory stuff because it actually doesn't provide us any kind of solution. It's just information that we think is going to actually hurt us, but it doesn't. We need better.
Yeah.
What's up, you guys? I do not know what to say, to be honest. I'm just going to be silent for the whole time right now. But, like, you guys sound some, like some celebrities. Like, that girl, she sounds like freaking Barack Obama's wife. And this kid sounds like, I don't know who, but crazy. But I just got on this app. I just want to know what to do on this. So, like, yeah. And what else I was going to say? Oh, you guys, like, where you guys from? Like, I want to know where you guys from. Like, all that and stuff like that. You guys sound like some nice-ass people. Like, real talk, man.
Thank you so much, Jay.
If you believe that college is just a way to get your money or what have you, then I don't think you're really thinking right. I say that loosely because there is a large part of that is attributed to these huge loans and what have you. But if you look at college as a way to explore the self and educate self, if you're just going in to find a specific job to do so that you can make or generate a lot of money, that is smart as well. But if you go in knowing that you're going to be educated and be able to think more critically. That should be your influence.
Go ahead and say what you was going to say, Greg.
Oh, no. Go ahead, next voicemail. We got way too many. We got to keep going.
Well, thank you, Mr. Motivational. And you are playing my song in the background. I heard Never Wanna Live Without You by Mary J. Blige, but it sounded like someone else was singing it. I know that's off topic, but I just wanted to acknowledge and appreciate you as well. And yeah, love or fear.
I think we need to put in context to media, like who, right? Is it a particular talk show host, or because these are people's opinions, although I do think that some of them really don't believe it. I believe that they're just making a lot of money because people are willing to listen to it. Setting aside conspiracy theories for a moment, because they are important. There's some things questions that need to be asked, of course, but then the long-term question is, how is it actually translating in our lives? Prime example, this current administration, right? Their big thing was it was a deep state. All these different things were being, all these different people, these small little groups were like shadow people and doing all this stuff. But they run the government, and people in real people that are poor are not seeing anything better. They haven't done anything with the conspiracy theories. They haven't helped get people to be able to open up more businesses and all this stuff. People did that because they had the means and the want and the need and the go-getter spirit to do it. So we can't always just kind of consider conspiracy theories.
I'm going to tell you guys straight up, the only way to make it in this world is to learn to own yourself. That is it. Nobody owes you anything.
I can barely hear him. But he gets really loud, so he's about to say something really disrespectful.
You use a skill that you have, regardless of anybody that puts you down or says you'll never make it. You work on that skill and you find a way to serve others by it. When you realize that you were put on this planet to serve others, you'll be fine.
I feel everything you're saying, bro. I feel everything you're saying. Like, a real talk. Like, I understand exactly where you're coming from. You see, I'm Mexican myself, and you know, we be having the same problems. But you know how I go. Man, get that shit out of here, bro. We're over here talking about some serious ass topics, and you over here talking about some lame ass shit.
Okay, let's just pause. I respect everybody's viewpoint, but we do realize that there's a lot of things going on in our country. Someone has to be able to stop saying that somebody has to stand up and say that police officers should not be able to shoot into someone's apartment any which way they want to. Yeah. Because they don't do that in rich people's neighborhoods. Whether it's black rich people, white rich people, they don't do that shit. But they do it to poor people all the time. And so somebody has to just do some research on who started Black Lives Matter. I've seen a whole lot of meme news about who runs it. It's meme news. That's not real news. And there is a need for journalism. If we didn't have journalism, we wouldn't know anything at all. A lot of the things that we're talking about is because we got it from the media. Let's just be honest about that, too.
Shout out to E. Ruth.
Hi, everybody. This is Tiara. Loving the conversation tonight. I just want to first say, Mr. Motivational, you are on it. I'm loving everything that you're saying. And I don't know if this has anything to do with the conversation, but I heard someone say, and it was really deep, I heard someone say that Jeff Bezos, the man that owns Amazon, could end homelessness in the snap of a finger. So, I didn't know if that pertained to this conversation. I just thought it was deep and just wanted to put that out there. But loving the conversation. Thanks, you guys.
It's greed, and I feel like, of course, he can, but you also teeter-totter on who are we to tell someone who built this crazy company that have so much money to tell him what to do with it. Like, I mean, we would like to have an opinion about his millions and billions of dollars, but the reality is we don't.
What Arut said about the history is so true. We don't understand what's going on. We don't understand colonialism. I did a video on my channel called Message from the East, or A Message from the Universe, something like that. I forget the name of it. But if you go look at it, it's like 30 minutes. Not my best work, but the information is, you want to hear it. You can get a full kind of understanding of where it all started and what the ideology is just in 30 minutes of watching.
Okay.
I'm going to say one thing. Identity. You know why people can come from China and come here and build something? They have an identity. You know why people can come from Czechoslovakia and build a Czechoslovakian? What's the people that live here that's living in Georgia right now? Bosnian. The Bosnian people can come here, poor as shit, come here and build a community because they have identity. You know why the Indians can come here and build? They have identity. You know why the Middle Easterns can come here and build? They have identity. African people, African Americans, we have identity to a certain point, but it's so related to oppression. Yeah. And that's not a excuse. It's just what it is. And if we keep on acting like and not dealing with that and trying to say, well, I'm going to be the Joneses and fuck what everybody else is going through because I'm going to get mine because I got to get mine. But also saying that people need to help in the communities like basketball players. We're speaking.
Absolutely.
Yes, the Moors were the Black Spaniards that you're speaking of. I think it's Laranova. And negro means black. Moreño means black person. The reason why negro is derogatory is because negro just means like a black object, but it's not really a pronoun, whereas moreño is like more of an endeared term. It's letting you know that I'm talking about a black human being. So moreño, that's where the Moors come from. That was like slang for the Moors. Oh, she's a moreño. Oh, yeah, she's a Moro. You know, that stirred into Moor, Moor. So that's why we were called the Moors. I won't go deeper.
I would just say this as far as, the Black Lives Matter thing is like, help me right.
All right, we're speaking out of two sides of our mouths, and we have to be clear about that. We can talk about the need to have progress, that some Black people ain't going to get better. Some Black people are going to still stay in their ignorance and still blame conspiracy theories as a reason why they can't get ahead too. And that is not going to help us do anything. It hasn't helped us do anything. Has it? I haven't seen anybody be able to build a business out of saying, look, I didn't found the people that created this, that started this conspiracy theory that's been doing this or doing that. It has not done anything to us. The more you learn about how all these systems work together and that it crosses all kinds of people of color. Color is not the fact that we even talk about color is white supremacist bullshit too, right? It's about character. And deep down, if you're in a Black community or a white community or Asian community or Indian community, selfishness is selfishness. Greed is greed. Lust is lust. Covetous is covetous. And we need to be able to be honest about that and then look at what this.
I love it.
That shit.
One thing I want to thank everybody that's coming in here. We want to listen to everybody's comments. I'm learning so much right now. Greg is learning so much right now. And some of these, I'm just like speechless. And some of these, I'm just like, okay, they just want to be here. But I appreciate everything. And I need for you guys to share it or just, tag somebody else in here if they have a point of view that we haven't heard. Because I think hearing everybody in this is giving us like insight on what people are actually dealing with, what they have dealt with, and what they really think. And we don't have like this overall mass view of everybody. And that's why I like listening to you guys talk y'all talk.
It's not an excuse. There's always going to be some people who actually do well in every part of the country. There's people that live in Africa and they're doing really, really well and they're Black. And then there's people that live in Africa who aren't doing well and they're poor. There's probably a whole bunch of answers for that. I don't have all of them. But I do know that if we're talking about American context and how people are successful or not, if you have been waiting in line, every time you get up and you try to get something and they keep burning down your cities, every time you try to create a Black Panther Party to be able to protect your neighborhood and they kill them because they can. And anytime you have these Black men in the streets, Philando Castile, he was living his own life. What was he doing wrong? That's context. We have to deal in context. And our value is shit. You think they care about you, Mr. Motivational, if you walk into a white neighborhood, they'll kill your ass too.
Exactly.
Yeah, and all those corporations that you're complaining about, I'd hate to say this, but this is true. They're all coming from literally overseas. That's where they're operating. They're operating overseas, and they're polluting because they don't have any environmental standards. And this was all enacted in the Clinton era in 1993 when he worked with Al Gore. And Ross Perot warned us this would happen, specifically with job loss and environmental conditions. That's how you got that.
Shout out to Strobro. Shout out to that.
You know what's funny about our people? Condoleezza Rice spent her whole life fighting for us, and black people used her face as a meme to talk about her fucking suit and hair like she was a lesbian. But she gave her life for the cause, and we so fucking ungrateful. It's going to be generations. The old people is they use they in their ways. Is you got to raise your children up now and hope that they carry on.
Absolutely.
Hood politics are a byproduct of oppression, plain and simple. If we divide our own people by referring to some of us as niggas and some as black, then we don't understand how oppression has shaped community.
All lives matter. Just letting you know.
I've seen people bring in potato salad with raisins in it, and I believe that is the devil's work.
Here we go. This is my type of show right now. This is my type of fucking show.
Definitely the only black person.
See? Mm-hmm.
You the only black person, dude. I ain't never seen not no raisin and macaroni. Then again, I ain't never eat nobody potluck food anyway. I was like,
Exactly.
I don't know what's in your house.
Exactly.
I'm good.
Exactly. See?
I understand your references, but I'm just not into or not with the generalizations about one culture. I know some black folks who do the wildest things as far as cooking goes, and everyone does. I really have tried, I won't even say tried, I really have worked on myself with getting away from generalizing groups.
Okay.
Guys, sorry to interrupt. It's because Caucasians, they don't have a culture. They don't. In America, they don't have a culture. They don't even know where they belong to. They're plain.
Okay, Claudio.
People who put mac and cheese or raisins in mac and cheese, they ask to speak to the manager every time they get upset at the grocery store.
See, I knew I was not fucking crazy. I knew I was not crazy. There's somebody who does that shit. Like, I'm gonna say this. I gotta say it. I have to say it. As long as I live and breathe, I have never been to Arby's. I see so many commercials for Arby's. I have not known a single person who said that they went during normal business hours to Arby's and grabbed a sandwich. So just on top of the fact that people eat like potluck food and macaroni and cheese with raisins and shit like that, I'm just letting you know, Arby's is actually a drug front. There's no, I don't have any.
Didn't they buy a company for $1 billion?
Think about it. How many times have you gone past an Arby's and you said there was one car there and all 5 employees worked and lived out of that one car? Because I have never on God's green earth ever seen anybody go into Arby's and walk out with a bag of anything. Arby's is not food. That is squirrel meat. That
Ain't nobody that put raisins in mac and cheese season their chicken with Lowry's.
Exactly.
Look, people can get creative. Let them be creative. That's I don't care. Like whatever you want to eat, we can say no. No, I'm good with that rice and that chicken. Like it is, people depending on where you go, everybody eats something different. I saw some shit the other day where this girl was basically like tapping a snail penis, and that shit was huge. I was like, damn, I know snails. Not that I
saw that.
It's not. But let me just say that she's tapping this snail penis, and he's peeing all in her soup. It's in Asia, and after she done, she bite the penis, and I'm like, okay, so all right, okay. And I'm not going to go with the coronavirus bullshit because people eat strange shit. Viruses happen everywhere. So please, let's not, I hope we do not go down that rabbit hole. I did not mean to open that can of worms. I was just, please, nobody, hopefully. No, don't do it. Don't let me distract you.
Greg, did you see that video though with that sale?
Man, listen to me. Now, here's the thing. So I went to white Facebook. So anybody who knows what white Facebook is, it's Pinterest, right? So
God.
So I went to Pinterest and I typed in white people's recipes, right? So we have chicken salad with chicken salad stuff, but it has guacamole in it. We have slow cooker chicken noodle soup with carrots, but then they added cilantro. I've never had chicken noodle soup with cilantro. No, you don't put cilantro in chicken noodle soup. You don't do it. Now, this one fucked me up. This one fucked me up so bad. Chicken Alfredo stuffed shells. They put the chicken, they put the Alfredo, and they put the noodles in a shell. So it's like it's like a pot pocket. What do you call it? Like a pot pocket of chicken Alfredo. That actually sounds delicious. Here's the thing. Noodles are supposed to be noodles. You don't just eat noodles and take a bite out of them. Like, some shit just doesn't work. They have something called cracked chicken pinwheels. I don't know what the fuck that is. Have you ever heard of when I say this, someone's going to be upset at me because only white people think of this shit. Have you ever heard of a turkey bacon peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
No. But listen, Americans love anything. Put that swine down.
No. Turkey bacon, not regular bacon. A turkey bacon peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Turkey bacon ain't nothing but fake kindergarten food for the classroom.
Oh my God, man. White people, they gotta be
Okay, so I'm from Texas, and we have a store called H-E-B, and they sell a turkey salad, which is kind of like chicken salad or whatever, and they put cranberries in it. And I'm sorry, it tastes really, really good.
I like that.
It's disgusting.
I like cranberries in my chicken salad.
That is disgusting.
Listen, you gotta taste. You gotta put it in your mouth and taste it first, Greg.
But that's what we can't. We can't be a double-edged sword. We can't want to be accepted and then constantly try to fit everyone in a box. Raisins in a macaroni and cheese, I have to admit, every time I just think of that, that's wild. But you know what? Guess what? Maybe it tastes good. I don't know. I've never had it. I think I might try it. We need to be open and receptive and come from a place of love instead of fear. And that's why I try to distinguish that so importantly, because what is the fear? Do we fear that someone's not holding culture in the way that traditional meals are cooked? What is it? Why can't we look at it from a place of love and just allow people to be who they are, whoever that is?
Here's the thing. You can be who you are. However, when you have a recipe that says macaroni and cheese, and you had the you had the nerve, you had the nuts to just go and say, you know what? I am going to put walnuts, beans, macaroni and cheese. Look, some things just make sense because they go together. Like spaghetti. You know what the fuck spaghetti is. You don't put
Bobby and Whitney.
Yeah, you don't put shit in spaghetti. Spaghetti is perfect the way it is. That's why whenever I see people say, hey, you know what? I put sugar in my spaghetti. I'm like, hey,
that's what you like to start that shit. Don't start that shit. Not tonight.
Greg, I love you, but the fact that you have experienced a dish with raisins or some odd shit that's not supposed to be inside of it lets me know that you're not getting out of there as fast as you should be.
Exactly.
And we need to talk about that.
Exactly.
Exit plans.
What it do? So family don't actually have accent. Just
don't
gotta lead by example. Like, I've been listening to the voicemails, and I've been listening to y'all respond to the voicemails. Black people don't care about black people enough. Point blank, period. We just don't. You know what I mean? And the world watches that and sees that.
we have the only culture that's being copied and used, and we don't monetize from it. You know, so I know Greg, I know Shan. I've never met them in real life or personally in the flesh, but I could trust them. Why? Because shit, they probably could trust me. But no, we don't. As in our culture, we don't trust each other. We knock each other off any chance we get. And I think that just starts with shit. Perfect example is us three. Yeah. We got to keep building off of that, I guess.
Yeah. I have another one before we get to the next voicemail. Have you ever heard of salmon lasagna?
I would never put fish in anything cheese. Nasty.
I'm just saying, this is shit that it's out there. That's there. Let's get these voicemails. We got so many.
Oh, Jesus Christ, here we go, blah, blah, blah.
I cannot.
And you need to talk to the people. I think I worked in customer service for a really long time, and I've been able to talk to so many different people, and you realize how... I know y'all probably gonna get tired of me saying this word because nobody likes to hear it. It's uncomfortable. But this is the elephant in the room is white supremacy and how it divides all of us. Because there are so many more of us that are going through the exact same thing despite the color. And if we can get past imagery, and unfortunately we're stuck with that. We're stuck with the imagery right now because that is propaganda media. Propaganda and stereotypes and imagery has been what has been effective at erasing the African identity, right? We only know when we trace history back, we're like, oh, we're slaves, and that's it. And that's our identity. And so to some people's point, yeah, the victimhood is there, but it's deeper than that. And slavery is hitting every person right now.
Why do you have to be?
I love... Shut up, dude.
We can't always just dismiss information as a mere conspiracy theory, but for conspiracy theory, where we generate more curiosity, we have to be willing to ask questions. We have to be willing to measure and compare information and be real critical and think about the stuff we're hearing, the stuff we're seeing. When we're talking about genetically modified organisms, of course there's going to be some good to it. And we're not just talking about splicing to make things better, but the earth provides all the resources. When we're modifying organisms to hinder production in certain areas of the world, then that is a problem. And that's more of what's happening than just the mere optimization of an orange to fight cancer.
Absolutely.
Right, like E. Ruth was saying, America in particular really loves conspiracy theories. We fucking love conspiracy theories and we want to believe it. But I think we should be a little more responsible with that, kind of slow down and be like, okay, who made this? Is there a political gain? Is it a grift? Like, is it just to cover? Because sometimes I think they give you the real story and they mix it in with all the other bullshit, so it all just looks like bullshit. But yeah, let's just try and be a little more careful in analyzing conspiracy theories.
That's why people need to fucking read, dog. Find your own answer.
See, I agree with a lot of what you said. I just want to make a point that a meme is a mimetic, and mimetics are social mores. For instance, drinking and driving. That's a mimetic that was established, and most of us subscribe to that ideology that drinking and driving is bad. Usually, mimetics take centuries, decades to reformulate. So if we just dismiss something as meme news, mimetics are all around us. We have to know what a meme is. A meme is a mimetic, and a mimetic is a virus of the mind, good or bad.
I am fucking learning, Greg. How about you?
I thought that meme meant meme, which is the actual definition of meme. I didn't know that meme meant memetics, which I had to Google while she was talking about it. It says, it is the study for information and culture based in an analogy for Darwinian evolution. Proponents describe memetics as an approach to evolutionary models of cultural information transfer. Memetics describes how an idea can propagate successfully, but doesn't necessarily imply a concept as factual. I didn't know me posting a meme of Nick Young meant that I was just like, I was deep in thought. You know what? I just thought my meme of the Jordan cry emoji, like, it's just fucking funny. I didn't know that there was like these undertones of like, by the way, aliens will be here on Tuesday. I didn't think that. I just thought, you know what, like the Jordan meme was fucking funny. But hey, like, if you say it's memetics, or if it's ebonics, or if it's electric, like the electric slide and shit, hey, whatever you say it is, so be it.
Well, Jeff Bezos didn't build this company. He used workers to do it. He exploited people's labor to get that amount of money. So we need to not give him this narrative of like he worked really hard for all that, because he didn't. He just paid people. Actually, we should actually be even more aggressive when demanding this from him, like as a billionaire. And other billionaires alike, because we, the workers, were exploited.
I feel
I'll ask this question.
I feel like everybody in the United States is exploited. And I feel like the only people that get above being exploited are the people who are willing to exploit others.
Yeah.
Process.
For me, it's so weird because I didn't even know Elon Musk was a person, a human, like an entity until like 2011, 2010. And that was when Amazon kind of like took off to the point where I've listened to like conspiracy theory podcasts. I'm not going to say their names, but I've listened to them, and they say, wait, Elon Musk just showed out of like nowhere. Like, no one could tell you any of his history. Everybody just knows for a fact he showed up on a Tuesday, and it's like all of a sudden Amazon is doing like God's work. Like, all of a sudden they can deliver shit to you in like 2 hours. So I put it to a test. I was like, you know what? I want to order something, and I know it will get here in 2 days. So I ordered something. I was like, you know what? It's Monday. It'll be here at least by Thursday. Do you know I ordered this shit? And it was at my door like 4 hours later. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, now something's fucking wrong there. Like, that's definitely some alien shit. There's no way I order from you at like 2:00 in the afternoon and you're telling me it's going to be by my door at 8:00, and then it shows up at fucking 5:15. Like, somebody needs to explain that one to me. Like, I'm not really big into conspiracy theories, but that one has definitely tripped me the fuck out.
The master class of knowing your fucking demographics and what you need to have on hand at a factory for this area. That's wild.
Here's the thing. I wasn't looking for something that was like, like normal. I wasn't looking for like batteries. I wasn't looking for diapers. This was the most obscure thing you could fucking get. I was looking for like a podcast, like, what is it called? Like a TRRS cable. So I was looking for a TRRS cable, and the only people that look for this is people who like work at Guitar World, or they do like concerts and shit like that, or they podcast. Now, that shit, any other website would have told me it was going to take me like 7-10 days at the earliest to get it. Amazon had that shit at my door in 2.5 hours. That not only am I scared of that, the fact that once I got the package, I sat back down on my couch, and the one movie that I absolutely hate watching, but I always watch, Enemy of the State, came on. And I was like, you know what? Something's going on here. Something's going on. We're living in, what do you call that? What do like the conspiracy theorist people say? We're living in a not a simulation. What do you call that shit? We're living in a simulation. Like, everything right now is just all for practice. Like, we're an experiment that's going on. But another story for another day. We got
experiment. The U.S. is a business, not a. Well, we not even gonna segue. I'm just, I'm a click.
Yo, I just want to say shout out to E-Root. She has one of the most brilliant minds of like this whole podcast. Straight up. Like, everything she said is just gold.
Vision is the reason why, and choosing love. Vision and choosing love first is how people can come here from anywhere and build. When you remain focused and stop being distracted by the narratives that are pushed, that the narrative that everyone hates you, the narrative that everyone's holding you back, sure, it's going to be true if you believe it's such. Sure, it's going to be true, and the universe will continue to reaffirm that for you every step of the way. You want to hear that you're the most hated? Guess what? You're going to be the most hated when you pull up in your driveway. Your neighbor's going to dump your trash on your lawn, and the police are going to come banging on your door and put you in a chokehold or whatever, you know. They have vision and focus, and that's how it can happen. I guarantee if you do the same, it will happen. I will tell you my story, but I got about 4 seconds left on this live. So Irut speaks as a conundrum because you just said prior to my response that these other communities come in and build because they have identity. And I said, no, it's because people have vision. So then you have returned and said, people are blaming it on conspiracy theory. So we have to be consistent and know and be able to have, and I'm not saying this to put you down or anything in any way, but when we get distracted by the racism, it will just generate these wild mimetics in our mind where we cannot focus.
I think we as a race need to stop playing victim. Victimization has been the death of us since, 400, 500, 600, years ago. I was speaking to this guy on the phone. I work from home. I don't know how the hell we got into this conversation, but he's saying, well, I'm Italian, I'm 14% black, the Moors, we know the Moors came from Africa. They settled in Italy, and they conquered Spain as well for 800 years. And he feels like he has the right to say the N-word. And he was like, I dated this mulatto, and she was the best I ever had. And I'm like, okay, dude, this is seriously inappropriate. And second of all, do you really fucking think of us this way? Like, black woman, I don't know. It's just like, dude, what are you saying? Like, you're married to a white Italian lady. Like, why do you care?
Yeah, why?
I just kind of hopped in here and got the tail end of that. But whoever Ruth was, that was just speaking facts. Because honestly, I'm from Indian heritage, firstborn gen. And honestly, I think as much, don't get me, understand the Black Lives Matter movement is very important. It is very important because it is finally bringing noise and volume to things that need to be talked about. However, I also think it's getting, misconstrued, and there's so many, that's why there's not enough respect, I think, put on it. When the bottom line, I think, is what needs to be done is like what she was saying is like with character is just people just need to start treating people as people, and it's not a matter of necessarily color, but it's a matter of starting to treat people with the proper empathy that needs to be addressed to each individual, and that needs to be what needs to be equal among every single human being, point blank simple.
Exactly.
Empathy.
Without question.
I agree with that. I just want to jump in real quick and say, it's all definitely generational, and you have to look at the way that people are raised, how they're taught to understand things in society, how they're taught to operate in society, and that goes into finances, that goes into understanding how to start businesses or understanding how to even take care of yourself. It all starts in the home, in the house, and it's a generational thing. And a lot of times, people are unable to break away from what they have learned as children up into through adulthood, and then what they also teach their children. So it's just what I call a vicious cycle.
Mm-hmm. When you put ungodly things into macaroni and cheese, you deserve to go to hell. Point blank, period.
Exactly. I'm not here.
How in the hell is Artie surviving? I don't know anybody that goes there and eat. How are they steady putting up more franchises? Oh my God, that is the alien devil's work.
See?
Believe it. Europeans have culture. They have designed their culture based off of everybody else's culture. And it's a microcosm of a bunch of cultures into one. And they use whatever their intelligence is well to. Listen, we can't pretend that the Europeans ain't come with a plan. They came with a plan. We weren't prepared for the plan that they was coming with. And that has been for the South, indigenous people in Mexico, in South America. People were not ready for a plan, but a divided house. See, we're all here trying to we're all beating each other up. And if I was a white supremacist and I was listening, I'm like, yes, look at the blacks thinking that they're the devil. They're the devil. They that is an identity thing. The devil and black people being connected as one. It is a very purposeful thing. And it's not a conspiracy. This is just, look at religion. If you study religion, you'll find the gems.
Oh, I know she had another one. I know she had some heat.
Yo, my partner and us was just talking about that Arby's thing. Yo, they just bought out some kind of I don't know, it's Baskin Robbins or something like that. And it's like, who's going to Arby's like this? Why are they still alive? Why are they still thriving? And they bought them out for $2 billion or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Who is going to Arby's?
And also, white people were known to eat what's called monkey brains. It's a delicacy in I think Northeast Asia. They put a monkey in the middle of the table. They carve out a hole for his head to go through. They take off his skull. They crack it open like a fucking walnut and slurp his brains off one by one.
Oh, I could have sworn I seen this movie. That was called Contagion. Who's the woman who sticks shit in her pussy and says that her pussy makes the scent of whatever she puts in it better? It's not Charlize Theron. What is her name? Gwyneth Paltrow. Yes, her. Yeah. She ended up dying in that movie. Pretty much.
I have no
voicemail.
Listen, the only reason I go to Arby's is because that's all they have at these truck stops, and there's no other choice of meat. Please don't judge me. But I will confirm in saying that the food is highly mediocre. Well, actually, their Euro sandwiches, that shit is kind of hitting. Even if it is squirrel meat, it is well-seasoned squirrel meat. Sue me.
My man is out here eating Animal Planet right now.
Bruh, you put cilantro in everything. Once you get that cilantro, you get that taste, you be like, you know what? I'm going to rock with it. I'm all right with it. Cilantro can change a dish now. It can change a dish.
No, cilantro tastes like, most people say cilantro tastes like soap. It is good in certain dishes. I won't say it tastes like soap. I'm just saying certain things do not what's the other one? Parsley. I'd rather have parsley on mac and cheese than fucking what's the name? Some things just don't belong in mac and cheese. Parsley, yes, but never. Why would you do this to yourself?
Hey, that peanut butter and turkey and jelly sandwich without the jelly, I was too white for the blacks, too black for the whites. I'm that kind of dude, so I can probably rock with that.
Oh no. No. Boy.
Listen, I'm gonna take it all the way back. If y'all watch the second season of Umbrella Academy, they have this shit where this guy, one of the characters, makes this shit called ambrosia, which is the fucking cherries with the peaches and the coconut flakes. They used to serve that shit in schools, and I would literally overlook that shit on purpose every time. That is one of the most disgusting dishes I have ever seen in white America. I can't.
Ambrosia sounds like a woman.
Yeah. Before we go to the next voicemail, remember when ATL was still coming on, and there was that episode where he went into the house to go get the piano or whatever, right? So the egg that the guy, was it a goose egg? I forgot what the actual egg was, right? Have you ever had an egg where it's you crack it and then you actually slurp out the inside of the egg?
No, I don't like my eggs wet, moving or jiggling or nothing. If it looks like it's like my titties, I'm not eating it. I need it to be hard boiled or fried or scrambled.
Yeah, so I had to look it up. So it was the Teddy Perkins episode where Teddy Perkins he invited homeboy to his house, whatever.
White.
He offered him a soft boiled ostrich egg. Ostrich. You know what the fuck I mean? Ostrich eggs. Yeah, there's an H there. That's what's fucking me up. But either way, some things should just not be. Why are you slurping an egg? Like, you know what? Next voicemail. I'm sure I just started something all over again.
Yeah, Fancy just lost her Texas card. Goodbye. You have been removed.
Listen, you cannot hate on the motherfucking chicken, apple, walnut salad. Specifically the one from Chick-fil-A. I don't care. I know the apple pecan thing is white. I don't give a fuck. That shit is good as fuck.
Hold on. The who? The chicken, apple, walnut. See, that's the thing. White people, and I don't want to just say white people, but Chick-fil-A, they literally put three things together that shouldn't belong together, but you can see how they would taste good together. Like chicken is already good by itself. You don't have to add apple to it. But somebody said, you know what? Chicken and apple taste good together. Why don't we just throw walnut in it? And then you're like, you know what? I don't mind it. Sure. And then you eat it.
Chick-fil-A is a Trump supporting company, but I will say you have some good cornbread and mac and cheese.
Yeah, I will say, for Chick-fil-A to be the most racist fucking company I've ever eaten out of, that mac and cheese, I don't know if Aunt Jemima is in the kitchen or what, but
it's grandma with the big arms, because how you gonna be back in racist and you be polite at the same time? I'm confused.
I have never figured out to this day. Like me, I'm one of those people when I eat mac and cheese for like Thanksgiving and stuff like that, I want the corners. I feel like I want to get the crispy
I love
edges.
the corners. That's where I live. Lay me down to sleep.
Exactly. Here's the thing. How about the mac and cheese from Chick-fil-A? It always tastes like you got the corner. Always. Like, it always feels like you had the corner of the mac and cheese there. And then it's like, it's not frosted, but it's like they like did something to the top to make it feel real crusty. You know what? I'm going to Chick-fil-A tomorrow. Thank you guys. Thank you for being the reason why.
Nah, I gotta give it to white people, bro. They can make some fucking cereal, dog. They put that shit in the bowl and they add the milk. And next thing you know, you just eating cereal, chilling with your white homies, playing Yahtzee, watching fucking Osmosis Jones, chilling.
Wait,
there's a reason why Black people are on top when it comes to cooking, fashion, business, entertainment. You stick in your lane. You stick to your lane. Yeah, try new things, but you stick to your lane. Some things don't need to be experimented if you don't know what you're doing.
True.
I seen this meme where it was a fine ass, real thick white girl on there. I mean, she was fine, a real thick ass white girl, big ass, big titties. In the background, it was a couple of black guys saying, yes, more raisins in my macaroni and my potato salad, please.
See?
Nah, Baylor, that's real talk. Black people gotta love black people till they can prove you wrong. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta love each other, and we can't be stereotypical with each other while the whole world's being stereotypical of us.
Yes.
Salmon lasagna sounds like disappointment on a plate.
Listen, where's that soft dick?
Well, I mean, you could look at it this way too, right? Is that we do have intelligence for a reason. We do have science for a reason. If we had not had any of these things, and science comes in a very horrible, terrible, traumatic history, because we know that the gynecological field started off with a lot of torture. In medicine, there's a lot of people that were guinea pigs, right? And that's not right. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just what it is. And I don't know who makes that balance happen. But I do think that when we're talking about conspiracy theories, we do have to think about, like, to what end, right? Like, for instance, I'm going to actually do another message because I'm going to run out of time.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
Okay, so with the conspiracy theories, what I was saying about the fact that we have to, like, for instance, with the I was on this. I started off with three things I really love: religion, political stuff, and social stuff. This is like my big three things, like caring about people, like trying to have people ask questions to transform ourselves. one of the things that we miss as a part of this conversation sometimes, or any conversation where it comes down to what end? The question is to what end, right? So I went on this whole journey of trying to find myself spiritually, religiously, and I was on this whole like Jesus disciple thing and Black Israelites. And then I thought, okay, then what am I going to do with that? How is that going to help me get more political power? Is it going to help me get do something for my community? So sometimes we have to understand, like, how far do we want to go versus where we are right now?
Talk that shit.
Yes, and the Darwin component is that ideology that the strong survive. So we adopt mimetics along the way that fit survival, cultural norms. We don't procreate with children. That's a mimetic that I hope sticks around my entire lifetime. And it definitely helps with survival because, what would happen if we had a population that were just kids regenerating over and over? It would just be, I don't even want to think about that, but that's just a good example of how the Darwinian evolution component comes in, because I know that throws people off sometimes. But yes, mimetics are mind viruses that we pick up. And like I mentioned, they take decades, centuries to develop and to get rid of.
You mean like now when people are procreating with kids, you mean like Greece in 2012 that passed being a pedophile as a disability? Like, people are really trying to be comfortable with being attracted to children.
No, wait, hold on. I'm confused. Okay, here's the thing. So, Michael Jordan, when he retired, the Jordan meme, that was a thing in like 2016 when he actually ended up being in the Hall of Fame, right? She said it took decades. The Jordan meme has been a thing for the last 4 years. It didn't take decades. I need to know an example of a meme. Like, I haven't seen a meme of something that happened from like 1982 and all of a sudden now it's a meme. I need to know the difference between like what she means with memetics or whatever the fuck that word is when it comes to like cultural evolution and things like that. And now, because when we're talking memes, we're talking, hey, you know what? Something happened on the MTV Awards last night, and we're going to make a meme of that forever. Like, remember when Drake had that meme where he had like the black Timbs on and he was just standing there, but it looked like he was walking in motion, and next thing you know, that was a fucking meme? Like, that is what I consider a meme to be. I don't consider a meme to be, hey, by the way, like, planet Earth is like planning something against us, and that meme that you just saw from last week, or that's something that you created, hey, that it took decades for us to like plan that. I was like, wait, like, so Drake just somehow did something that y'all planned 30, 40 years ago? Like, that's what I'm getting from what she said. I'm like, wait, what, are you trying to tell me right now, like in 2020, like I could have this podcast episode and someone can make a meme of that 40 years from now, but it's a meme to them and it's popular? It's like, wait, but you planned this? How did you plan this? I need to know. Please leave us a voicemail, because I'm really confused at what she said with her last voicemail.
Greg, you got your package really fast because there were people working to get it to you.
Oh,
Maybe, okay. So that we should, just because something seems impossible doesn't mean it can't be possible, right? If I create a network that a region, if I do really well in a region and I'm able to get better than my competitors, like deliver something faster, because mail has been over years, right? The mail used to take years and days to get there because of horse and chariot. Then we got the cars, and it still took a long time. Then we got planes, and now it's faster. So planes can actually, carry a whole lot of items much faster to a delivery location, and then actually deliver that item in that region within like an hour radius of traveling. I mean, it's possible. It's not impossible, guys. I definitely appreciate the compliment, but honestly, I'm an observer. I just observe things, and then I start thinking, and I'm like, but how could that make any? Wait, exactly. But how come? And so I'm not gonna lie. Let me just be clear. I lived in the Illuminati wormhole, the rabbit hole. I live in a rabbit hole sometimes too. Like I'm very curious myself. Like I don't always take everything for what it is, but I do challenge it to see if it makes any sense. And like, why would somebody go out of their way? Are people that good at keeping information together? How many of us can keep a secret? Somebody gonna come out here and be like, man, I can make $1 billion off of telling them how this conspiracy went down. Like, we gotta kind of like, people are not that, there's some intelligent people, but then there's some people that are, their morality ain't together. If you dangle, you see the fraud stuff right now? That dude took $130,000 to potentially go ahead and commit a crime to say that he saw election fraud. People do dumb shit, and it looks like a conspiracy.
I would say this, that no matter what, I'm a black man, and things is not equal. And that's the way I look at it. Can I say people with act be people? Nah, because it's not the same. It's what it is, what it is.
A lot of it comes down to not wanting to do the work on yourself, because it always starts with you. It's always your outlook on the world that's going to ultimately decide how your life goes, you know. Like, we have to recognize oppression as black people, but I think it's also important to stop being like, don't let that limit us. You know, we are creators. We don't go begging for placement where we're not wanted. You know, like we can always figure it out. So I mean, just invest in yourself. You know, knowledge is the key to everything. You know, have strong faith in God. You know, we'll be all right. We gonna be all right.
For what we don't know is what we don't know. You can go to any taco truck and get a cabeza taco. That's a brains taco.
Except for San Diego, because San Diego's taco, like, never mind. Next voicemail. Never mind.
I think Arby's is part of KFC chain. I'm gonna look it up.
It might be true.
Yo, real talk though, sound like some Ozark type. There's a lot of questions about the money that's been cycling around these parts. Okay?
Talking about Arby's.
Talk about Arby's with the whole $2 billion. Like, there's a lot of companies that you'd be like, how do you stay afloat? Why do you need this tax cut so bad? Like, if you're a business, you should be able to thrive because you have good product and you have good services. It's like the basics of any business. So how is it that you're not having anybody? I don't know anybody else at Arby's either. But there are questions. And hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this, because there's a lot of money laundering going around. Low level, mid level, high level. And you best believe the high level folks, the top, they got their shit organized. Well.
Exactly.
You remember in the news, I want to say like 2 months ago, JP Morgan had that shipment of all that fucking cocaine and nobody heard shit from it.
Exactly. No, everybody's like, wait, what? We heard it, but we didn't see it.
Like, what the heck?
It's like, wait.
Arby's is part of El Pollo Loco, Golden Chick, Golden Skillet, Guthrie's Hearts Chicken, Hooters, Jollibee, KFC, and I can't see the rest. So they're not standalone.
Holy shit.
Yo, Kevin Morris, I was too white for the blacks, too black for the whites too, bro.
If you put cilantro in your chicken soup, you will change your life. But only if you realize that you're trying to make it a Hispanic dish. So it'll taste more like chicken tortilla soup. You put the cilantro in. If you put in like some cumin, some coriander, lots of onion, tomatoes, pico de gallo. Yeah, you win it.
Let me just say, yo, this is like the greatest conversation because y'all are funny as fudge. Now, sometimes I do curse and sometimes I don't. But y'all are hilarious. So it's good that we have a little good mix of, you know, some serious talk. And talking is good. Let me just say this. The conversation is good because it allows us all to think. And I'm over here thinking and listening as I keep chiming in like, damn, I didn't think about that. What about this? You know, Thank you. Thank you all for having this conversation. It's really great.
Man, thank you for listening and everybody chiming in.
All right, Greg, you're right about that. White people be throwing fucking anything together. They'll make like they'll make a soup, right? They'll make chicken noodle soup. They'll add a fucking animal cracker to that bitch. They'll add a whole half a lime and a wooden block from like a kid's playset. Yo, what's up, dude?
If you're trying to understand what a mimetic is, and I refer to them as mind viruses sometimes, but they don't have to be bad. It's the toilet system that's a mimetic that we need to flush. Prior to, people used to bathe, excrete, and drink the same water. But mimetics came, and we understand the need for sanitization and blah, blah, blah. The money system, the monetary system, like I mentioned before, I'm all about a resource-based economy. The monetary system, that is a meme. A social more is a better word for meme. It's a social more that we've adopted in lieu of potential barter system, or like I would like to see, a resource-based economy. So a mimetic is just a thought. It doesn't have to take decades, but they often can. Another example of a mimetic is the legalization of marijuana. There's a time where people were completely against it. There's a time now that it's being legal again. Cocaine, it was readily accepted. Then it became a mimetic that, no, this is bad. We shouldn't let people have access to it. So a mimetic, yeah, it can be overnight, seemingly, but I call it a mind virus because it picks up like little seeds of thought that people adopt, and then it rolls, and it's kind of like, the roll of the drum. You go on Instagram and you instantly get 100,000 followers, or you build them over time. So it's not, I would say, written in stone that every mimetic must take decades, but generally they do last that long if it makes more sense to you.
Now it does. Thank you so much.
Overall, excuse me. Overall, I would boil it down to this phrase, and that's just be the change you wish to see in the world. So killed that Arby's conspiracy. Oh
my God.
That is wild.
Yeah, Eru, that's true. I usually don't talk much. I'm more introverted. I think this pace is really good, like to just paste the message and then like have plenty of time to think about it and kind of pop in whenever I want to. So there's no immediate pressure to talk a lot. So this is really helpful. And it's helping me like be a better orator. Like I can hear my voice now and I feel more like articulate and like I'm getting my point across. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Of course, Siobhan. And you sound fantastic, man. You have the voice for it. So keep going. Definitely keep going.
Man, what about the people that be adding ketchup to their spaghetti? Like, where the fuck did that even come from? How did it even become a thing?
I believe that the people... Oh, go ahead. Because
I don't know.
My own theory.
The tomato feel the same.
I feel the same way about like ketchup in the spaghetti, the same way that guys think that like they won't eat spaghetti from women that they aren't either like dating or married, because they feel like they would put their blood in there in order to make it seem like... Trust me. Like, now here's the thing though. I would hope that no woman decided that they would ever put their own blood in spaghetti. However, I'm sure it's happened. I'm absolutely sure it's happened. Any of my exes, like, I was the cook. I'm still the cook to this day. I'd rather cook my own shit because I'm not going to put my blood in my food. However, I'm going to say this. I do see that could possibly happen because, like, honestly, like, we've seen everything on planet Earth, but I wouldn't trust, or more importantly, it wouldn't engage me anyway.
Should we not trust men giving us bowls of cereal and milk?
Here's the thing. Spaghetti and milk are two different things. Like as an adult, if my wife or if any woman says, you know what, I made spaghetti, like that's something that you can have over the course of 2 or 3 days. No one on planet Earth just decides, you know what, I'm full of cereal and I'm just going to put it in the fridge. Like spaghetti, you put that in the fridge if you're done with it, if you made too much, and it can sit in the fridge, you can reheat it. Anybody who goes and puts cereal.
What about chicken Alfredo or fettuccine?
Well, here's the thing. I love chicken Alfredo and I love fettuccine Alfredo. I've never had red fettuccine Alfredo.
I'm talking about on the other way around for men. Men,
here's the thing. I've never heard of a guy who jacked off into some chicken Alfredo so you can fall in love with them. I have definitely heard of women say, you know what? I am going to put my menstrual in your spaghetti. You are going to love me. I'm not making it in the
love me. That's nasty.
And you want to know what's so fucked up? And what I'm about to say is going to sound really disgusting to anybody who will ever listen. However, as long as I can put some salt on that spaghetti and some pepper, a little bit of paprika, I'm not going to taste it anyway. So I don't give a fuck what you stirred in that spaghetti. I'm hungry right now. I'm going to eat that. Hey, you could tell my wife, and honestly, give her a clue. She can say, you know what? Hey, Greg, I put this in your spaghetti. Hey, I couldn't taste it. I tasted seasoning. Like, I need all the allspice. Like, give me all that shit.
So I'm kind of trying to understand this mimetic thing because it is very interesting. So couldn't you also say though that people like with marijuana, right? That was like historically speaking, the whole reason why marijuana became a big thing, like a big fear tactic, was because they were trying. This is when America was messing with the immigration system. So they would say white people could come to America and they would designate who was white. So Mexicans at one time, you can look it up. Mexicans at one time were considered white in order to allow them to come here to work in the workforce. Right. And so at that time, the media was saying that when they wanted to stop the immigration policy to allow them, they would start saying that the Mexicans are taking marijuana and they're crazy and all this other stuff. And so it became a big propaganda. And then they started, of course, it's the conspiracy theory. Yes, media does narrate, and they started saying that it's bad. And then we learned about it and we realized it's not. And now we are smoking it because it's not.
I think the thing with ketchup and spaghetti, I don't think it's spaghetti's fault. I think it all started because some people just have an unhealthy love for ketchup and they just put it on their fucking eggs. They put it on their ramen noodles and one day they were just wondering, what other completed dish can I ruin with this ketchup? So they just put the ketchup on the spaghetti and they ate it like the savages they are.
Yeah. Here's the issue with that, though. My issue with spaghetti is there's a recipe to it. And honestly, it's so easy in the fact that they tell you all you have to do is add either tomato sauce, tomato paste. That's spaghetti. The issue is people will go and take actual ketchup packets or take the big ass jug that they get from Costco and squirt that into tomato paste or tomato sauce. Some things don't. Imagine going and having macaroni and cheese. You had a complete dish of mac and cheese, and someone said, you know what would decorate this? More macaroni. Like some things they shouldn't exist. And you notice I love mac and cheese. That's why I keep going and saying mac and cheese. However, anybody who puts ketchup in their spaghetti, they are definitely a serial killer. And you should never trust them. I mean this from the bottom of my heart.
Ketchup on eggs at all.
Oh no, I know people who put hot sauce, and I'm cool with putting hot sauce in your eggs and stuff like that. Hot sauce is one of those things where it's like universal. However, certain things don't belong on certain foods. Like I actually get really weirded out when I see people eat avocado toast. I don't know why. It's absolutely fucking delicious, but I hate watching people actually eat it. I'm the only person on planet Earth that will ever admit that. If you've ever eaten avocado toast, you know for a fact it's really, it tastes good, it smells good. More importantly, like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I don't want to eat butter, but I can put avocado on bread and it tastes good. That's one thing. But if you've ever actually,
my mom calls it a green pear. Jamaicans call it a pear.
Yeah, but here's the thing: eating it is one thing. If you've ever had to sit and watch someone eat avocado toast, it's one of the most disgusting things you will ever see in your life. Because unlike eating toast with butter, where it's like, you know what, the butter sticks to the toast, and it has that consistency of like it's all going to go down at the same time. Avocado toast, it slides. So you're eating and you just see green shit just like slide out of the corner of people's mouths and shit. It reminds me of like Nickelodeon when they had like the little goo shit that was just like, you know, it would dump on like an 8-year-old. Like that's what avocado toast looks to me. But I've already spoken enough about it, and someone is going to give me absolute hell for the fact that I said avocado toast.
I don't like avocado unless it's on a sandwich and I can't see it.
It probably, I'm sure it has happened too. Women can be very possessive, just like men can. You know, we do know that men will stalk women. Men will try to control the women that they want to stay around and do all kinds of psychological pretzel magician work to mess a woman's mind up and make her feel controlled. And women will do some crazy shit too. It's not even really about the sex. It's just people's character, right? Like when we get past the white supremacist of everything, we can look at people for who they are: men, women, the black. I mean, I don't even want to talk about color. I hate talking about color because it doesn't mean shit. It's just a white supremacy bullshit about color being related to character or defined by character. But straight up, though, I've heard, and I've also heard that you could tell who does it because those are the women that end up getting beat up. Although I don't have enough evidence for that. This is just what I heard. But I have heard that people have been saying, don't eat spaghetti from a woman because you don't know.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this, and I'm never going to mention it again. Ruth, the entire night has been giving us absolute fire. And shout out to, you know, her gentleman friend, boyfriend, husband, whoever that's been in the background. He's also been adding commentary. You know, he's been adding commentary, but you can tell that last message, he's hitting her with this, "Hey boo, you talking that shit." Because she started talking a little bit faster that last message, which means he's like, "Hey, you better bring your ass to bed because I'm about to put this third leg on you." He's about to put that third leg on. I'm just saying. We might not hear from Ruth again tonight because she is going to get that wood. She's going to get that.
You make so much sense, but I have to tell you that spaghetti and milk are not two different things. Please don't ever give me any ranch dressing. I don't want to eat Alfredo at your house. I don't want no cereal. I don't want a muffin with cream cheese on it. I don't want a bagel. Do not give me anything and you won't get any spaghetti.
Yeah, like
I enjoyed the conversation, but now my stomach's turning from thinking about Alfredo and spaghetti. So, deuces. It was nice meeting all of you. I will catch you on another time.
Absolutely.
Not that I'm being closed-minded. Just, I just came on stereo today anyway. Time to explore. I'll check back in if there's nothing else going on. Thank you all. Ruth, you're wonderful. You're talented. You sound beautiful. Everyone, I love learning. I love your intellect. I love the conversation. I love the challenge thought process that you guys induct into everyone who listens. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, being true. Like
the conspiracy behind marijuana, yes, I'm still here. The conspiracy behind marijuana was completely a money thing. They were making paper and so many other things. There's a whole documentary about it too. I wish I could think of the name of it.
Yo, Jovan, that's real talk right there. Like, I like, this sounds crazy, but I like ketchup on my mac and cheese. Now, if the mac and cheese is really good and I can see that it's good, it got the cheese glistening and all that stuff, then I'm gonna eat it straight up. But if the mac and cheese is kind of on par, then I'm gonna put the ketchup on it. And I never realized, but yes, it is some kind of ungodly, unseemly love that we have for ketchup, and that's real talk.
Ketchup on mac and cheese?
No,
Who
sir.
raised y'all?
Okay, I can't stay away from you guys. I had it all planned out and I can't even leave. I have to say, spaghetti, we can't forget. How can we forget? It's actually the noodle that we're talking about anyway. I remember my grandmother used to make this really delicious, it would be like kidney beans with spaghetti. I can't even, I don't even know if it was tomato sauce, but it sure was good.
What? I guarantee it didn't have ketchup in it. I guarantee it didn't have fucking ketchup in it.
All right, see, with the mac and cheese thing, I think just black people just hold mac and cheese really dear to them, just like the Italians hold their pastas and their spaghetti really dear to them. So if you go to an Italian lady's house and you mess with they secret pasta or try to give them some ragu, they're gonna go crazy. And that's just how I think what we feel about our mac and cheese. It's just a very sacred dish that we don't want tampered with.
You put ketchup in your mac and cheese?
Ew.
I'm never going to forgive him.
Avocado takes the place of mayonnaise for me. When I was vegan, I substituted mayonnaise with avocado. I would make it into, not guacamole, because like you mentioned, guacamole has its own kind of recipe. But I would just, smash the avocado, spread it on toast, put it between sandwiches, what have you, as like a way to kind of substitute that mayonnaise taste. So if you had like a sandwich, I'd make like a chickpea, smash them up, and use avocado as the mayonnaise. That was my vegan lifestyle, and it didn't last very long.
Okay, I think I have an avocado spread in my fridge that I use to put on my sandwich because I hate the taste of mayo.
Yeah, I don't like mayo either.
And the only old eggs I got is my kids, and they sleep.
You know what?
Yo, Greg, that sounds like you got a phobia, homie. Some kind of avocado phobia that you haven't really thought that you had, but saying that you might want to look into that.
No, it's not a phobia. I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna go to the next voicemail really quick. When it comes to avocado, I absolutely love avocado. I love avocado toast. I just absolutely hate watching people eat it. Like, think about it. There's some people out there who eat like peanut butter off a spoon. I can't see that. Some things I just don't want to see. I don't want to see people eat avocados. I don't want to see people eat Jell-O. I don't want to see people eat peanut butter.
I like Jell-O because I get to suck it.
See, something wrong. Next voicemail. See, next voicemail.
I know some white women that'll kill you, Greg, for saying that you fucking don't like avocado toast, bro. They'll kill you for not liking avocado toast. I dare you. Go to a gentrified neighborhood like the fucking Brooklyn, right? And to be like, I don't like toast. I don't like toast with avocado on it. You're gonna have a Karen problem. You're gonna need to call Karen control because they're gonna be on your shit like flies in a box of fruit. Like, what the fuck did you say about fucking avocado toast? And then they're gonna be like, you know what? Let me speak to your manager.
See,
it's gonna be crazy.
Here's the thing. I don't mind avocado toast. I'm going to say this. I'm going to only say it one more time. I don't mind avocado toast. I love avocado toast. I even like when people go and get like, they're at home, like avocado toast where they get a piece of bread. They open the avocado, they spread it on there, and then they get the everything but the bagel like seasoning and they put it on the avocado toast. That's good. What I don't like seeing is when people go to places and spend money on shit that is like 4 times the amount of what it's worth. I've seen a woman spend $15 at brunch for 2 pieces of avocado toast, which is the equivalent of 1 piece of bread cut in half with smeared avocado and everything but the bagel. She spent $15 on something that is
you said everything
pretty much,
but.
No, I'm not bullshitting you. Any person of color, if you have never discovered the everything but bagel seasoning, and you don't have that in your like cabinet of spices, you need to have it. Like, that's the one thing white people have not told us that we need to have in our spice cabinet. They don't believe in paprika or like oregano and shit like that, but they definitely believe in everything but the bagel. And that shit, imagine having a bagel, right? But someone took the bagel completely out of the equation and they gave you like the seasoning for the bagel. And they say, you know what? Put it on a piece of toast and put some butter or some avocado on it. The greatest fucking avocado toast you will ever have has everything but the bagel seasoning on it. We got voice.
Oh, it's going down. First of all, it's my birthday. Well, it's not my birthday anymore. It was yesterday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Let me tell you, I never forgive him. I watch and I'm like, I hate you. Why would you do this to us? It's so disgusting. Why would you put that bland ass, water ass, paste ass shit on your damn macaroni? When he says that he never belonged, he ain't lying, y'all. He ain't lying.
Let's see, what else we got?
I just have to say, you guys are genius together. I gotta find me a partner like this and get my hustle on. I'm just thinking about it. Just really good conversation starters, and you guys just bounce off of each other. Very clever. I'm just so proud of the way you guys work together. I'm proud to know you.
Thank you so much. Like, Shanna's coming back. Something was wrong with the audio, but obviously we'll definitely be back. I just need to know before she comes back, because she's going to say that, avocado toast is good and all this stuff. And it's good. I just want to know from you guys before we get up out of here, like, what is a dish that you make at home that nobody else would think was good, but you feel as though it is probably one of the best dishes anybody else could ever have? And Shannon's back. So basically, Shannon, I'm just saying, I want to know from them, like, what is something that they make at home or they add to something that normal, I won't say normal people, but people would look at it and it's like, yo, like, why the fuck did you do that? Like, I would have never thought about that. Like, for me, when I'm at home, like, I have a thing where I like to put Parmesan like cheese on my shrimp. Like, for some reason, I don't know what it is. Like, I absolutely love Parmesan shrimp. Like, that is one thing that I absolutely love. So I wanted to hear from the listeners, like, what are some things that you would like cook at home that you're like, you know what? I want everybody else to know, hey, this is actually good and you should try it. So these voicemails.
I got something that I do with food that's not normal. I am 33 and I cannot boil an egg to perfection.
Wait,
Shut the fuck up. But when I do have people boil my egg, I don't like to chew it. I don't like to bite into it and feel the yellow part on my teeth. So I just swallow it whole.
Oh yeah. That's how I feel about deviled eggs. Like, I actually I'm probably a serial killer when it comes to deviled eggs, because if I can't eat the entire deviled egg, I won't eat the entire shit. I will literally throw it away. Like, there's nothing worse than going to like Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving's coming up. You're eating a deviled egg, but then there's like that little piece of like egg white that you don't really want to eat, but all the other good shit you already done consumed. So you just gotta leave that shit on the bottom, on the base of your plate. And like, hey, by the way,
but you don't like the white part?
Hell no.
I love that part.
The best part of the deviled egg was the shit that was in it and the seasoning and all that. Like, I don't want the egg white. I came.
That's the only look, Greg. That's the only white I swallow.
So you know what? See, something wrong with you, Fred. Something is wrong with you. Oh my God. We're not supposed to be showing them. No, they're not supposed to see the side of us tonight. They're not. No, this is the serious show. This is the serious show. They are not supposed to see the side of us tonight.
I'm sorry.
Like, goodness, we're supposed to be serious. What is the next voicemail?
Everything but the bagel, that shit fucking goes on it. Damn near anything, like any pastry shit. That shit right there is fucking fire.
See, what I tell you,
He's an avocado player.
Black people, the one thing you can learn from white people is this. Everything but the bagel is not only the jam, you can put that on anything. You had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Go ahead, before you go and close up that sandwich, put a little bit of everything but the bagel on it. I swear to God, it will take it from like a 5 to an 8 real quick. Everything but the bagel, avocado toast, same fucking thing. Honestly, if you like me and you get like the I can't believe it's not butter and you decide you want to put that on some toast, sprinkle some everything, but the bagel. That shit will take a piece of toast and make it feel like you spent $28 on it, on everything I love. It's like brunch.
But I have seen that at my friend's houses.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually next week, you and I, actually no, tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to have a segment called All of the Spices. I'm going to write this down. I want to know the 10 essential spices that everybody has to have in their cabinets. Adobo doesn't count, though. I have to make that clear. Adobo does not count. So we're going to do that, but we got a lot of voicemails. Let's get to the next one.
Yo, Greg, that's real talk. I got that in my cabinet right now. I haven't been using it as much, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you kind of put me back into it. So you could put it in anything like mashed potatoes or anything that's just kind of bland and you can just want to put a little spice in your life. Yeah, I feel you.
Spice in your life on Spice Girls.
Say word. You guys are awesome. I'm about to go. I got to go back to work. And so I know it's late, but y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for having us and listening to us for forever. I'm so sorry that I love to talk, and I love hearing people talk about good stuff too. This was a really great conversation. So thank y'all. And I don't know when I'll be back again to listen, but I'm going to try to see if y'all have more conversations on the weekend and hang out. Maybe we're going to go and try out a conversation ourselves. But thank you and have a good night, everybody. You all are the sweetest. And you know what? It ain't all bad all the time, but character is the beginning and ending of everything. You start there, you can get to a lot of places, and it's nothing but truth. Character is truth. Nobody can lie about character. You can, but you can also, the truth is more powerful when you look at the character. Right. Greed, envy, all that crazy stuff. But anyway, have a good night, y'all.
Night.
Shout out to E. Ruth.
A salmon stuffed baked potato. Don't knock it till you try it. That shit is like, oh my God. It is pure nut.
Pure nut.
Pure nut. Okay. Hashtag
pure nut.
Besides the macaroni and ketchup thing, I like a peanut butter shake. So it's kind of like a Caribbean thing. It's called peanut punch. So it's pretty much like a peanut butter milkshake. So it's just almond milk, a little bit of sugar, and peanut butter. I don't know if that's weird or not, but when I bring it to work for a little protein, people look at me like, "What the hell is that?" And I tell them, they're like, "Oh, okay." So yeah.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it because it actually sounds good.
I like bananas on my peanut butter sandwiches.
Oh, can I just say this before we go to the next one? If you eat nothing but pineapples on your pizza, you are definitely a serial killer. And I'm not arguing with you at all. Like, period.
So, Interracial Power Hour. I just tuned in. What are you guys talking about? What's been the topic so far? What's the tea?
Oh my God. So much. You missed so much.
She missed, honestly, the best 4 hours of her life, and she has to catch up.
We have like a consistent 45 people in here listening at the same time in the comments. It's crazy.
The egg white tastes like the smell of fart when you boil that shit. I hate boiled eggs. Deviled eggs, soft boiled, hard boiled, no motherfucking boiled. That shit is so nasty. That shit is like a fucking fart marshmallow. A fart mellow.
Okay, this sounds kind of crazy, but I need y'all to work with me here, okay? I'm going to take you into a deep dive into this dish here, okay? So you got your hot dogs, you got your glizzies, right? You make them however you make your hot dogs, put them in the bun, right? Now, this is where it gets a little wacky with the condiments, okay? So first, put a little bit of hot sauce on it. Put some hot sauce on however many hot dogs you eat, right? Hot sauce on each one. Then you put some mustard on them. Put mustard on top of the hot sauce. You're going to be like, what? That sounds terrible. But this is the part, right?
This is where it's gonna get a little crazy, but then I'm gonna hit you out of nowhere, okay? After you get the hot sauce and the mustard, you want to put some Parmesan cheese on that hot dog.
What?
Oh my god, my mouth is watering just thinking about it. And then you crush up some Cool Ranch Doritos and you sprinkle them in each hot dog. I swear to God. Fam.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. That has to be the highest fucking recipe I've ever. He just said, and I had to write it down because I'm going to try this shit. He said to take a hot dog, cook a hot dog, put it in a bun, and then after you put it in the bun, you add hot sauce, mustard, Parmesan, and then Cool Ranch Doritos.
He
in
lost
that
me at
order.
Doritos. But I did
You
buy
love-
hot dogs today, so I might try it.
I'm definitely going to have to go and get some Cool Ranch Doritos this weekend.
But no lie, you make the best recipes when you're fucking high. Okay?
Man, what? Oh
my pancakes are so decadent when I'm high. I'm just like, look at that thing. I see you, girl, shaking that thing.
What else?
Salmon stuffed baked potato. Salmon stuffed baked potato. That sounds like that fire.
Ooh.
How do I make money on this app? I'm new. But I think I saw on the leaderboards, is it true you guys are making $1,000 tonight?
No, we're not.
I don't know.
I wish, but we're not. We ain't that important.
Right.
Oh my God, these pineapple pizza people. Oh my God, I've always been so scared of them. They're like, oh, it's so good. I'm like, you eat people.
Okay. I have had people, but I got rid of those people down the sink. But what I will say, I have tried the pineapple on pizza. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It really is. It's that bad. It definitely is that bad.
Yo, I was going to say the same thing. That is the highest shit I've ever heard, Joe Fine. But that's what you do when you high. You create and you make masterpieces. So yeah, that's what's up, yo.
Take a hot dog, put coleslaw and hot sauce, and that's it.
What? When was the last time I had coleslaw?
Yeah, honestly, that sounds better than the Dorito one though, because I actually like coleslaw. Because it's like it's a hot and cold type of thing. That actually sounds really fucking good.
I have a hot
with coleslaw.
I eat ice cream with my coffee.
Wait, what?
I drink it. I take the coffee to the face, and I take the ice cream in a separate bowl, and I eat it at the same time and drink it. It's a side effect of having kids fall out your vagina. Next comment.
I was high as shit when I made that recipe, and I'm happy to share it with my family.
We appreciate it.
Hey, look, man, I can't question no type of combination of foods after, like, I done the prison spreads and shit. Like, some shit just don't even make sense. Like, why the fuck would you put mayonnaise on fucking noodles? Why the fuck, man, there's so much shit you put in there that when you think about it, when you see somebody doing it for the first time, you're like, what the fuck is this man doing? But I guarantee you that shit's gonna be fire, bro. Like, that shit's gonna be fucking fire, but it looks questionable as fuck. But just trust any type of mixture. I can't question it. It might just be good in the end. You know what I mean?
It might be, bro. Like, it has to be.
I'm curious now. Curious.
Are you guys hearing my comments?
Yes. We are, Luna. We definitely hear
you. You know what it is about pineapple on pizza? It's like, I get the Hawaiian pizza, like you got the ham, you got the pineapple, but even then, you bite into a pizza and you bite into a pineapple, it's like gross because it's juicy. You don't want juicy like fruits on your pizza. That's like putting oranges on pizza or like slices of mango on pizza.
He wasn't complaining.
Oh my God, slices of mango on pizza sounds actually incredible.
Mango sounds good. Pineapple
have you ever had pickles on pizza?
Why would you ever do this? Why would you?
I tried it before. It's actually like acid, like tangy.
No.
You know, I have a love-hate with coleslaw. I like more of like the more vinegary coleslaw or the coleslaw that's not too much mayo, but I've had coleslaw where it felt like I was just eating mayo with little lumps in it, and I wanted to throw up.
Ew.
Oh, wow.
And I got a recipe for crab cakes. It calls for squirrel.
Wait, what?
Wait a minute, dog. Tomato is a fruit?
Tomato is a fruit. Yeah, it's considered a fruit. When I buy whole tomatoes, I buy them like an apple.
Jesus, why? You are definitely a serial killer.
Bust in that mouth.
Oh my God.
Hey, you might be onto something with that mango piece. I never tried it, but if it's out there, I'm gonna have to try it because I'll rock with the pineapple, the Hawaiian joint.
I got 6 mangoes in here. I might try it tomorrow.
Yo, with little lumps in it. Little lumps. Yeah.
We just got down to no voicemails, dog.
Finally. Oh
That's
my!
crazy.
And then there's another
Only
one.
4 and something hours. Whew.
Oh my God! All right.
This is a good show.
Definitely good show. Let's get this last voicemail and we get our final tithes and offering and we get out of here.
Biting into a tomato is very serial killerish. I mean, exactly. and I do a lot. But if I see you biting into a tomato like an apple, I just automatically think you're toxic, especially if you're a woman. I mean, I'm not on the gender shit like that, but that's some very, very scary shit.
Exactly. You definitely eat people. No, you eat people if you decide you are going to go and bite into, like, a tomato. When you see it, nobody says, you know what, I want to bite into this. It's one of those. I do. Like, no, someone says, you know what, I have to cut into this in order to enjoy.
No, you bite into.
See, this is why we can't have good things. We can't have nice things because you decided that you wanted to go and bite into a fucking tomato. In 2020, you bite into tomato. Well, here's the thing: after you take a bite out of that tomato, do you eat the entire? I eat the
entire thing except for the white part that's in the middle.
So you eat everything but the white. See, something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Something wrong with you, friend.
Okay, so you take pizza and you spread coleslaw and hot sauce on it, and that's it.
Now that sounds good.
I'm definitely not putting coleslaw on pizza. Are you crazy?
I would do it.
You know, the skin and the seeds of a tomato are not digestible by the body.
Well, I guess it just gonna come out like corn because I eat them.
See, you've definitely killed somebody in your past, but it's okay. So you know what? We have been here long enough. I'm gonna leave this out. So 4 hours and 39 minutes later, you have been listening to Loudmoufstereo. I'm Greg, one of your hosts, and I am joined by my lovely co-host every single week. And I'm going to let her tell you who she is after we get, God damn it, these fucking voicemails. We can't get rid of them. We can't get rid of them. They love us. We love you too. Shan, just let them know who you are. We're going to play the 2 voicemails, and then we're going to actually say our farewells for the evening.
All right, I'm Shan from She Gets It Pod. Might say Shan Rock on there. Add me, follow me, hit me on Twitter, hit me on IG. If you want to email me, shegetsitpod@gmail.com. What's up?
I think I'm a few minutes behind, but I had a physical reaction to the idea of pickles on pizza.
See?
Is that a thing that exists, or was that a hypothetical?
No, because that exists. She literally thinks that's a
thing. No.
Yes. It's like little bits of pickles chopped up. They're not whole. It's on private. What's that brand called? Private Selection. No. You could get it at Publix or Kroger. And yeah, it's on there.
I like tomatoes, but I hate ketchup. Don't eat it on anything.
Hey, but no lie, if you biting into a tomato, I'm liable to try to get at least 10 to 15 to 20 feet away from you. I cannot trust you at that point. But at the same time, on a different note, I have an uncle that he used to eat oranges with the peel on it and everything. Just bite into that shit. And one day I told him, I said, why do you do that shit? That shit has to taste like shit. And he said, yeah, but like this, you get all the vitamin C. And I told him, nah, man, I think that orange gives off plenty of vitamin C for me to fucking taste it the way that it tastes good. Like, why? I don't know, but that's my uncle. Shit.
The skin of fruit veggies does way more than anything. Like, my mom would be like, don't take off the skin. That's what you need to eat. And I'm just like, hell no, I'm taking off the skin. But a lot of people don't know that I think it's a green pepper or a red pepper has more vitamin C than an apple or orange.
You want to know what's funny is I have family members who have told me, like, they've come over and I've cooked them dinner. They absolutely will not want to eat green peppers, but they'll eat red ones, orange ones, yellow ones. I'm like, wait, you won't eat green, but you'll eat everything else.
Listen, Jamaicans cook with 3 main peppers: green pepper, the red pepper, and the yellow pepper. And if you really want to kill your throat, we go and put a Scotch bonnet in there.
See, something wrong. Something is wrong. We got 2 more
Anchovies
voicemails.
and dill pickle, you get the saltiness and the sourness of the pickle. It goes well together.
See?
The fuck are you talking about, motherfucker?
Exactly. So, to lead us on out, let me just say this. We do appreciate you guys all being here collectively. Don't just leave just yet, because we still have shit we have to say. We are on here pretty much at least twice a week. Tomorrow, we will be having another show, which we are focusing on social media. Shannon's actually going to dive into that a little bit more before we get our exit out. So, go ahead, Shannon. I'm going to let you just get it out.
For tomorrow's show, we want to know if social media is a pro or a con, and have a similar discussion breakdown from everybody on that shit, because, you know, all of our devices are telling us how much time we're spending on our phone, or how much time we're spending on IG or this app or that app. Is it actually a good thing or is it a bad thing? And what are you doing on your phone? So that's what we'll be discussing tomorrow night.
Absolutely. So in the meantime, though, we want you guys to both and all follow us on social media. We want you to follow us, obviously, on here. And we want you to listen to the podcast, because we have extra content on those as well. Outside of that, though, we will definitely see you guys all tomorrow. Shan, as usual, thank you for inviting me to your show, because this is all about you.
You's a lie. This is about us, especially tonight.
This is definitely about us, but I mean, hey, any woman who decides they are going to put pickles on their pizza,
shut up.
This is definitely about you, friend. So you know what? Let's just do a quick shout out thing. So, shout out to King Geo, Victoria Rose 1, J2020, Chase Adams, Lygia, Vida Sato, Dahlia. That's a different spell of Dahlia. Brandon 45, B Lotus, Miss Puddles. Now, does she say Miss Puddles because is it Miss Puddles because or is it Miss Puddles because hey, I'm just saying, another episode we're gonna talk Miss Puddles. Let me go ahead and follow her right now, because you know what that means. I just hope you're of age. We have Cora G, we have Javon 777, we have Tyrese with the S, Tyrese C, okay. We have Gil Blanco, Luna 8. We have Insincere, because that's how a lot of us niggas feel. We have Read For You. We have Luna 7. Motherfucking Dom the Don. Shout out to you. MFN Dom the Don. Shout out to you. Music Man. We have what is this? A Leaky Pie. We've all had that before. Shout out to the ladies. Shout out to the ladies with the leaky pie. You know what, friend? Stop it. You can't be this way. This is not the show for that. We have Olive 2. We have Machiavelli Bard. We have Raheem 1, Flacco. We have Javon 777. Again, we have Big Snatch, because Big Snatch is, I'm assuming, is taken. We have Richard Land, who is Q. Antoine. We have Dorsha Evans, Nisa, our dog Rico 10. We have a host of different people that we have definitely shouted out. In the midst of me shouting people out, we've had 4 voicemails. We're going to play these, and we're going to appreciate the fact that you guys have actually rocked with us. For if you haven't been here all 4 hours, either way, we still have fucked with you. Here are the 4 voicemails.
Sounds pretty gross to me.
Hey, Greg, I gave you a follow, man. Anybody talking about everything but the bagel, man, I'm rocking with you, no lie.
People don't understand. Everything but the bagel might be the one spice you need in your cabinet. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. I guarantee it.
Per game in the building. Per.
Shout
out Per Game.
Shout out to Per Game.
You know, I've been here for like 30 seconds. But, you know, a shout out would be cool.
What up, G-Money?
Or these nuts. Peace.
I hear crickets.
Shout out to G-Money. Exactly. The crickets were laughing in the background. Either way, you have been listening to another episode of Loudmoufstereo with your hosts, Greg and
Shan.
We will be back tomorrow. We need you guys to be here live and direct. We want to hear all the likes. We want to see all the shares. And more importantly, we want to see you. Bring your comments, bring your thoughts, bring everything you can possibly bring, except the macaroni and pasta shit that you added raisins to. We don't want that. Please don't bring that.
Glizzy game.
Dorito hot dogs. hey. So, some women like the glizzy. So, you know what? For all the women who like the glizzy, share this show. Until tomorrow, we will see you guys later. Bye.
Out. Bye.
Hey, do you have the Wi-Fi password? Common words everyone has said in an airport, coffee shop, or any public place with free internet. Don't fall victim to internet hackers while using free internet thanks to NordVPN. NordVPN is one of those services you tell yourself you don't need until it's too late. We've used the NordVPN to browse the web, check bank accounts, and even stream apps like Netflix. It's the only VPN service that lets you bypass ISPs, perfect for when your job has sites you frequent like Facebook is blocked. It's the best VPN service you can get for both price and performance. Install NordVPN on up to 6 devices, including your smartphone, tablet, and desktop, and experience the service for yourself. Start protecting yourself and your content with NordVPN by heading over to nordvpn.com/YBAB at checkout and save 75% on your subscription.